Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. They've got a busy slate, so Skip, Shannon, let's get to it.
Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from LA. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe.
You ain't get to do that yesterday.
Yeah, I'm back.
Where'd you back from?
I'm feeling much better today.
For what?
The 49ers lost at home. The Eagles are about to lose at home to New England, coming off a bye. And Kawhi last night, he was just
Don't do that.
filling up the stat sheet.
Don't do that.
Yes, he was.
Shannon.
Oh, yes.
You know what? I should have did that yesterday.
Kawhi.
How about them Vikings?
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Well, you didn't.
You can still do it
didn't.
today.
But I get it
There's
this
still
week.
Time.
No.
I get it next Monday. How about them Lions?
Lions.
They go.
Want to put a case on it right now?
No.
Somebody is
Dude.
nervous.
If Stafford was playing, you could have got you a case.
He might play.
No,
I will not
he-
be
he-
surprised. He always wants to play against his hometown team.
We have got a packed show today. Are the Cowboys' playoff hopes ruined after their home loss to the Vikings? You know, it still feels good to say. And are LeBron and the Lakers the clear title favorites? But first, we'll start with last night's Monday Night Football thriller. It was a slugfest between the Seahawks and 49ers. The Seahawks overcame an early 10-point deficit to jump ahead 21-10 in the third. The Niners would answer by tying the game with 1 second left. Then, with a chance to win it with a touchdown in overtime, Russell Wilson threw his second pick of the season at the San Francisco 4-yard line. The Niners rookie kicker, Chase McLaughlin, had a 47-yard field goal attempt for the win. Go wide left. Ultimately, Russ would lead the Seahawks down to kick the game-winning field goal as time expired. And after the game, Russ said it was, quote, the craziest game I have ever been a part of. So, Shannon, how much did last night help Russell Wilson's MVP chances?
I believe he increased his lead slightly, Skip. He just took down an 8-0 team on the road. And you look at it, Skip, the way he make plays, yes, he can run the card. I mean, Skip, they call plays, and yeah, that's fine and good. And a lot of guys can make plays. He's most dangerous once he gets off script. And his ability to run the football, and Skip, we watched last night where they blew the whistle. That's how close the Giants came from not winning a Super Bowl, because they could have easily blown the whistle when they had Eli Manning in the grass. And Eli
So you're saying Brady deserved another one?
No, I'm just saying.
Oh, he got robbed of that one. Yeah.
He didn't get robbed. But I'm just saying that they blew that dead, and guess what happens? Russ and his great improvisational skills bailed them out again. Skip, and the thing is, he did that the large part of the game in the second half without Lockett. His best receiver. He has a great rapport with Lockett. He did it without Lockett. What's the most amazing part about this? You know, Skip tells us all the time that he can, Tom Brady's doing this thing with guys from Dorchester.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson is doing it with two guys, Hollister and Gordon, that got released by the Patriots. And Russell Wilson took that show on the road to the new Chase. What was it? What's I don't even know what the stadium is called. It's not. Levi, Dungarees. Levi, Dungarees. We used to call them back in the day, Jenny. We used to call them Dungarees. You remember that, don't you, Skip?
That's way before my time.
Yeah, well, but you wore Dungarees too. You wore Levi's.
Dungarees?
Yeah, jeans.
Sounds like something from Australia or something.
Jeans.
Oh, okay.
That's what in the South we didn't have the name brand. They call them Dungarees. Get your pair of them Dungarees, boy, and go on out there in the fields. But anyway, Skip, in one-score games, when the rubber needs to meet the road, and that's the road. That's when you tell a lot about a quarterback. 7-1 in one-score games, 21 touchdowns, 1 INT, lead the league in touchdown passes. Skip, I'm not saying he opened an insurmountable lead. This is, insurmountable lead. This is not Joe Burrow's for the national Heisman. He doesn't have that type of lead, but he's out front, and I don't think he did anything to diminish that because he did win the game. He did beat a previously undefeated team on the road, and he deserves kudos for that.
You know, I'm going to say it again. I got to get a new TV. Or I got to get me some of those Sharpe glasses. Yeah,
you need
to. They have this like 20/20 hindsight.
Well, if you think Dak better than Russell Wilson, you definitely need glasses.
I definitely need glasses then. You know what? I got to get me some of those brownies you cook up on Chef Shay. You know, because those brownies, they got some ingredients. Because they make you see illusions on your TV, right?
Well, I gave some to Deion Waiters.
Did you?
Yeah.
Gave him a panic attack.
Maybe a little too much, Shannon.
I saw a very different game. I saw Russell Wilson struggle much of the night. I saw Russell Wilson throw for a grand total of 155 yards in regulation.
Yes.
Just in regulation. If my quarterback, Dak Prescott, threw for 155, I would never hear the end of that. I saw Russell Wilson, with 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter, get the ball just taken right away from him before he even was pulled to the ground. It just got wrenched away, stripped. His lineman had it for a second, and then all of a sudden it's loose again, scoop and score, and a 21-10 Seattle game suddenly was 21-18. So he allowed San Francisco right back in that game. Then I saw Russell Wilson on the first drive of the overtime get it all the way down to the 14-yard line and throw a completely inexcusable, awful, shocking red zone interception, an underthrow to one Jacob Hollister that was picked off and returned 47 yards that set up a 47-yard San Francisco field goal by the substitute kicker. And your guy, Russell Wilson, was very lucky. That one, he duck hooked. He just absolutely snap hooked it. Or we might be having a different conversation right now. And I'm very happy as a Cowboy fan that he did snap hook that. So I saw Russell Wilson have a grand total QBR of 41 last night, scale of 0 to 100, and fall down the rankings to third, just barely above an oncoming Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
So they're third and fourth now in
Okay.
QBR. So my takeaway from last night was Lamar Jackson surged ahead in the MVP race. And I'm going to remind you
Even
that
during the
Lamar Jackson has already gone to Seattle and outdueled Russell Wilson head-to-head in his house with a QBR of 75 to Russ's 65, and they won that game, the Baltimore Ravens did, 30-16. And in that game, speaking of running with the football, Lamar went 14 times for 116 yards on the ground.
Yeah.
That's extraordinary. So Russell is more of a scrambling quarterback, but Lamar can beat you with his legs on called plays. And when I add all that up, I'm sorry, I just saw Lamar outplay Tom Brady and outwit Bill Belichick in his house in Baltimore. So grand total of Lamar is pulling away to me in the MVP race. I'm sorry, I didn't see Russell Wilson do anything last night but get lucky. He was playing against a Jimmy G. Do you want to see that Jimmy G? Bill, if Bill's watching right now, Bill Belichick, do you want that Jimmy G we saw last night being the next Tom Brady for you? Would that have been a mistake?
That was all my concerns with him, is that he's a turnover machine.
He is.
And what happens is that when someone touches him, the ball comes out.
Okay.
You see, he let Seattle back into the ball game with that fumble, scoop, and score by Clowney. He threw another horrible pick. He fumbled again. It's his turnovers that will cause this team from reaching their ultimate goal. But here's the thing, Skip. Okay, you look at, both teams have 2 losses. The Ravens have lost to the Browns and the Chiefs. Seattle lost to the Saints and the Ravens. But one team went on the road, beat an 8-0 team. The other team was at home, beat an 8-0 team. Okay, fine. Now, obviously, win-loss plays a role in it. But it does come down to, this is a stat award now. Yeah. This is a stat award. Look at the stats. What does the stat tell you? You tell me now, one guy has a higher completion percentage, one guy has a higher QBR, yards per attempt, and more touchdowns, fewer interceptions. I'm confused here.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I'm confused. Russell Wilson's lost twice at home, and guess who the other loss was to? Lamar Jackson on one.
Yeah,
he lost to Teddy Bridgewater in Teddy's first start in place of Drew Brees.
You guys lost to him too, though,
and
right?
that score was 33-14, visiting team with 3 minutes left in that game.
Oh.
Help me out. You like that?
Is that a worse loss than losing to Sam Darnold? But we're not talking about that. Skip.
No, we're not talking about that. Is that all you got? Every time you get backed into a corner, you just flail and say, what about the Cowboys?
No, Skip.
They're not involved in this discussion.
So what am I supposed to do with 8-2? A guy that has 23 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, with a high QBR, high completion.
What does your eye test tell you over the last 3 weeks?
Skip, the guy, do you see what he's doing it with? Do you see what Russell's doing this with?
What was Russell's biggest test of the year so far? It was last night. What did you see?
Did he pass?
Did you see?
Did he pass the test?
Well, I saw him pass for 155 in regulation. You like that?
Yeah. But
okay, and by the way, you say they did lose Tyler Lockett, and they did.
Yes.
Who was Garoppolo playing without? He didn't have Kittle to start.
Emmanuel Sanders.
And Emmanuel Sanders was gone fairly quickly in that game.
Yes.
So all of a sudden, you can argue he had two key receivers gone.
But, Skip, at the end of the day, Seattle is still a run-based team, and they ran the ball 30.
So if they're run-based, then Russell can't really be the MVP,
Skip.
can he?
Okay, so on a run-based team, he leads the league in touchdown passes. Explain that to me.
Well, how do you explain it?
No,
that sounds like it's a pass-based.
No.
That's a pass-based team. And you always tell me about empty stats. Go look at how many empty stats he put up when they were down 33-14 against New Orleans. They never really got back in the game, but he threw like crazy in the last 3 minutes.
So now all of a sudden empty stats mean something.
Well, that's what you always tell me. I'm just using your argument back on you.
But this is not, hold on. We're not arguing about that. You see what I'm saying, Jenny? Now, first,
don't ask Jenny. Just tell me.
I know. We're arguing about who didn't clean up the kitchen, and you're talking about the yard need raking. No, we're not talking about that. Let's stick
like something you would do.
Like you tell me. Let's stick to the topic at hand. Russell Wilson. His team is 8-2. He took down the previously unbeaten on the road. He has 23 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. His QBR is third. His completion percentage, yards per attempt. Okay. I don't really know what else you want him to do.
Well, I would like for him to beat Lamar head-to-head at home. Did he do that? No, he failed. I would like for him to even at home, outduel Tom Brady and outwit Bill Belichick. Did he do that? No, he did not.
Hold on. Did Lamar lose head-to-head to Baker Mayfield, who has the 31st ranked QBR in all of football? Did he do that at home?
Okay, I'll take that above losing to Teddy Bridgewater at home. In his first start?
Hold on. That was his first start in his career. Or I could have swore he led a team to a division title. Okay. He was 11-5. I could have swore.
First start for Drew Brees this year. On the road at the place you can't win.
Oh, so his second start.
33-14 with 3 minutes left.
What did Teddy Bridgewater do in his second start?
Well,
that's
not the point.
Oh,
okay. Off topic. Well, it is off topic.
But Skip,
what does that matter?
Skip, what you're trying to do is that you're trying. So I just need to know how moving forward.
By the way, in his second start, he managed 4 field goals, 12 points total. So he scored 33 at Seattle, and then at home he scored 4 field goals.
And in the process of scoring those 4 field goals, did his team win or lose?
They won.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Back, Skip. If you don't, DJ, can we play this record? I had a little disc track I dropped in here.
Let's get it in.
And you can watch what he does. This is Russell Wilson at his absolute best.
All right.
So, DJ, cue that right quick for me, please. Thank you. I know we got that in can. There we go, right here. Look at this, Hollister. Look at that, Skip. You can't teach. Look, see this?
Yeah, that's sweet. Nice little.
Oh, look at this.
All right.
Look at this, Skip. We got another one on 3rd and 16. That's the one to Hollister. Nice catch. Buying time.
Did
look at this.
Count 3 touchdowns?
This is Turner. Whoa. Skip, that's 3rd and 16.
Huh.
That's 3rd and 16.
Well, I saw Dak do that about 7 times on Sunday
3rd and 16. But let me tell you what you didn't see at the end of the night. He came to my restaurant. Russ bypassed. Russ said, I see you closed, Shay. I said, yeah, bro, I ain't got nothing for you. Yeah, right there. And watch this. Look at this.
Yeah, that was a big play. I'll give you that.
A big play.
That was a big 3rd down.
And it led to what, Skip?
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, what we try to do. Now, you can get all these stats, and your guy #1 in QBR, and he has the #1 in air distance, and he yada, yada, yada. I just need to know, when I open my restaurant, do you want the cold dub or the hot ale? What you want, Skip?
I would like the dub.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not going to lure myself to go to your restaurant. I'm going to eat at a higher quality place than yours.
Look at
yours is low rent. You cook up those brownies for dessert.
Hey, a hot ale is the Dak special.
Yeah.
Medic fly.
So, DJ, could we drop a couple another tracks here, please? Could we see one that happened with 12-12 left in the football game?
Yes.
And Seattle in total command of this game, up 21-10. And here's the quote-unquote MVP according to Shannon Sharpe. Wait a minute. They just took the ball right away from him.
Right.
Then his lineman carried it, and then all of a sudden,
That was crazy, yeah.
Well, first of all, why is this Skip? Skip.
Wait, you got to hold on to the ball.
Skip.
No, if you're the MVP, don't let the home team back in the game. All of a sudden, it's 21-18.
So,
it's a football game again. It was almost over, and then that happened.
Not to diminish Lamar,
Whoa.
but are you telling me Lamar Jackson has not turned the football over this year?
Well, that was a crucial turnover that allowed the home team back
What about
in the game.
three? What about the
I'm not finished. DJ, drop the next track. This is the first drive of overtime, and one Jacob Hollister from late of the New England Patriots. In overtime. Here we go. What a terrible underthrow to Jacob Hollister.
Was that not a great play by the linebacker?
A rookie, what's that kid's name? Trey Greenwald or somebody?
Skip.
He just picks it off.
Was that not a good play?
And runs it back 47 yards. Was that not a terrible underthrow? Was that not a cardinal sin red zone interception?
So we're not going
How do you defend that? That could have been the mistake of the year for the Seattle Seahawks.
Skip, I don't know what could have been.
Yeah.
I don't know what should have been. All I know is outcomes. I deal with outcomes.
Okay.
What was the outcome?
The outcome was that some substitute walk-on kicker that they hired off the street named Chase McLaughlin had the same field goal he had just made going the same direction when he had made it to tie the game and send it to overtime, and he absolutely snap-hooked it.
Yeah.
It never even sniffed the uprights because this is what he is. Look at that. You know what? I might have been able to pull that off. I might have.
I don't know.
It looks like he tried to overkick it.
Well, I'd say.
Because the one in regulation
Snap. It was smooth. I know.
Boom, just...
Yep.
Feeling
hit
the
it
pressure.
right down the middle, but all of a sudden it's overtime and the magnitude sank in that, wait a second, I'm on Monday Night Football and this is do or die.
How many times have we seen this in golf? A guy hits a shot right down the middle of the fairway to get it to sudden death, and then now they go back to that same tee box. And all of a sudden, what does he do, Skip? Yeah. One way or the other, it's not in the fairway. This is what happened. But that doesn't, Skip, at the end, sometimes you have to get lucky.
Yep.
But how many guys could have done that? You think you're going to win, think I'm going to lose.
Yep.
Think you're going to win, think I'm going to lose, and then I win. There are not very many guys that can ride that wave of emotion. And Russell rode it like he was in, one of them big north waves, those 50-footers. Yeah.
Wow.
Where they got a tow yacht to ride it. I'm thinking,
Those kind.
old Slater.
You know what? Just that interception in the red zone in overtime alone disqualified him from the MVP.
Stop it, Skip.
No, for this week, he's disqualified.
No, he's not disqualified.
You can't make that mistake.
Yes, you can.
If Dak Prescott had thrown that ball, I wouldn't hear about it for the next 3 years. I would hear. It would never stop.
Remember against Green Bay? He threw the pick in the end zone, and they lost. So he did Green Bay Packers when they were down 31-3, and he threw a pick in the end zone. He tried to force it to Randall Cobb. That one.
He didn't throw it in the end zone.
Yeah, he did. Forced it.
Didn't. No, that was just over the middle.
No. He got it called back because it was what they called illegal roughing the pass or something hands to the face.
Then it didn't count. I don't know what you're talking about.
So did that count? Because at the end of the day, we won the game. Well, we do win.
Counted.
We win. We won.
Again, San Francisco should have won the game. I'm very happy they didn't win the game.
Skip, here's the thing what you don't fail to realize, Skip. It does not matter what they do. One team is coming out. We're going to talk about this. One team is coming out of the East. And guess what? Minnesota's already beat you guys. Minnesota's already beaten Philly.
I'm just talking about the 49ers right now. And they lost at home because they beat themselves at home.
Okay, that might be true. But at the end of the day, their record, Skip, they're 3 games clear, you guys.
Yep.
Seattle is 3 games clear of you guys. So it does not matter. You can't catch them unless you win the division, which you won't. You're not going to the playoffs, which you won't.
Okay. I'm talking about the 49ers with Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback.
Okay, what you really do?
Again, this is the guy that 2 years ago, Bill Belichick handpicked and chose to be the successor to Tom Brady. 2 years ago at the trade deadline, what happened? He wanted to force Jimmy right into the starting lineup by the end of that year, going into the next year, right?
Yes.
And Robert Kraft said, no, trade him. So he basically gave him to San Francisco for a second. But the point is he the answer? How far can you go with Jimmy Garoppolo?
Not far.
You can't go deep into the playoffs with Jimmy G.
Because he's a liability.
Okay.
Turns the ball over too much.
And by the way, could we see what happened late in regulation, Jimmy Garoppolo, because on that last drive, the tying field goal drive, can we see, here's the first throw on the first play of that drive.
That should have been
KJ Wright, he hits him right in the breadbasket, didn't he?
Yeah.
KJ, don't you have to catch that ball? Oh, KJ, boy, he completely misplayed.
If he could catch, he'd be on offense.
Okay, and here's the second one. Whoops.
Well, he got to put that in front of him. If he leads him, all he got to do is lead him. Lead him!
Is that not a panic throw?
If he leads him, it's a catch.
Okay, so the game could have ended on either of those plays.
Yes.
But instead, he kept himself together, they kept themselves together, and they drove down for the tying field goal.
Right.
But that's Jimmy G to me.
Right.
And again, he's played enough football with enough starts, including the ones he got in place of Tom Brady, that he probably should be beyond that kind of play in a big stage game. And he played well against Arizona on the Thursday night. That was his best game.
What he should be beyond is those turnovers, because he let them back into the game. They were dominating this game. And it was his fumble, scoop and score by Jadeveon Clowney. It was his pick. It was this another fumble that let Seattle back in the game and put them in a commanding position. But with that being said, they take the ball away from Russell and they get themselves back into the ball game. But there are not very many quarterbacks that could have had that happen to them, knowing that I fumbled the football, gave them a scoop and score, threw an interception in overtime that we were in field goal range and could have won the game. And still have the moxie, still have the, you know what, the turtle shell skin. Nothing phases me, nothing bothers me, and still put his team in field goal in position and to win that game.
Okay. And my final point is, what happened in a playoff game at Jerry World last year? Russell Wilson versus Dak Prescott. Who won that game? Help me out.
We're not talking about that.
Oh, we're not?
No.
Oh, well, I don't know. That's just the last time I saw him on the biggest stage. He was against Dak Prescott, and he got outplayed, and he took the L.
Well, when your guy get on I saw Russell Wilson in year 2 go to the Super Bowl. I saw him in year 3 go back to the Super Bowl. So when is your quarterback going to make an appearance?
Legion of boom.
Don't do that. Don't do that, Skip.
Interesting.
You see what you try to do, Skip? But you saw that the last time you saw Russell Wilson and Dak Prescott head to head. But did you see Zeke run for $137? Did you see that? Because I saw it.
Who made the play of the game?
$137.
No mercy.
Starting the season 3-0, the Cowboys have lost 4 of their last 6 games and are currently tied with the Eagles atop the NFC East. Following the home loss to the Vikings, Jerry Jones said, quote, "We'll have to pay for this one. Hopefully it won't be terminal." Jerry also said that he knows Philadelphia is coming. So, Skip, have you given up on the Cowboys making the playoffs? Is that where we're at?
I have not given up.
You should.
The Dallas Cowboys are still in first place.
No, they're not. We're tied.
Still in first. Tiebreaker goes to the team that crushed the other team.
Okay.
My team crushed the Eagles. Your Eagles.
Temporarily.
My team is a 4.5-point favorite at Detroit this coming Sunday, and your team, the Eagles, is a 3.5-point dog at home to New England.
Okay.
That's hard.
Coming off a bye week, New England.
That's hard.
Right?
We coming off a bye too.
I don't even think that matters.
Yeah, it does
that might be a disadvantage to you. So, yesterday, I was the first to admit my team is in trouble. I no longer love their playoff chances because clearly the remaining schedule favors the Eagles. Theirs is far easier than the Dallas Cowboys' remaining schedule. And I was the first to admit yesterday I overrated my defense, which cannot stop the run. It cannot consistently rush the passer. And it cannot force timely turnovers. It doesn't force any turnovers, but let alone timely. And that defense all too often just comes out flat in the first quarter. Without fire, without urgency, without focus. I don't know why. I blame Jason Garrett, but it consistently happens. And I way overrated what to expect from my running game because I way overrated Ezekiel Elliott, who just is not himself anymore. He's lost his burst. He's lost his breakaway speed. He's lost his ability to make you miss at all. He's lost his nuclear capability. And his offensive line all too often gets its overpaid tails whipped at the line of scrimmage. So all that is negative, negative, negative. But I still got a quarterback. And he's a top 10 quarterback.
No, he's not. Stop saying that.
And he's got a top 1 connection with a wide receiver who's a top 10 receiver in Amari Cooper.
Okay.
They have an extraordinary rapport and wavelength. And when I have that, I've got a shot, which brings me to the NFC. What did we see last night? We saw the undefeated 49ers lose at home. I looked back at the end of the night and looked at the vast expanse of the NFC, and it's still wide open. What have we seen so far, Mr. Sharpe? We saw San Francisco lose at home to a Seattle that, as we just talked about in the previous topic, has lost at home twice to Lamar Jackson, but also to Teddy Bridgewater, who was up 33-14 with 3 minutes left in that game. Just 2 weeks ago, we saw Green Bay, a team you love, with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, get demolished at Chargers, 26-11. 11? Mm-hmm. How do you score just 11? I don't know. It just sounds weird to me.
Is 11 more than 10?
And by the way, Green Bay lost at home to the Eagles. Which brings me to the Saints. They just lost at home to Atlanta. Atlanta, 26-9. It wasn't even close.
Yes.
26-9. Atlanta terrorized Drew Brees in his house.
Yes, they did.
Which brings me to the Vikings. They lost at Chicago 16-6. And they lost to Matt Moore at Kansas City. They played really well on Sunday night in Dallas. But again, if fate intervened, if Dallas gets to play Minnesota, I know it's a 1,000,000,000 shot, but if Dallas gets to play Minnesota in the playoffs, seriously, from my heart, from my soul, would I be afraid of Minnesota? I would not be afraid. And I believe my team would have won that game if on 2nd and 2 at the 11, they had said, let Dak throw it to a receiver or a tight end. On 2nd, 3rd, and 4th down, we would have won that game. So that brings me to my Dallas Cowboys. What do they have remaining? They have two really hard, they got 2 games in a row on the road. So they go at Detroit.
Loss.
And at New England.
Loss.
I believe they can win at Detroit. So guess what? Here's the last 5 games of that schedule. They get the Bills at home on Thanksgiving. I believe they can win that game. At Chicago, I believe now they can win that game. I wasn't sure before the year, but I believe now they can. The Rams come to Jerry World. We owe the Rams for the playoffs.
No, y'all are for
the Rams are also 5-4. Do the Rams look invincible to you?
You don't either.
Well, I don't know, but I think we could win that game. We always play well at Philadelphia. Always. We won there last year. We've won there a bunch of times in the historical past. So my team does not fear playing at Philadelphia, and I wouldn't love, but I would like my chances there. And then the Redskins have to come to Jerry World to close it out. Now, your schedule to close is pretty easy after the first 2 games.
First 2.
But the first 2, New England at home and Seattle at home, I'm not sure those are exactly
win.
What if you lose both those games?
What if we win both of them?
Okay, I'll take New England for 3 cases right now. You do it?
3.
We got till Friday.
Okay,
I want to build it up.
But again, if you happen to lose those 2 games, and you just told me Russell Wilson's the MVP, I kind of like the MVP at Philly.
Oh, no, he's not. Lamar Jackson is. That's what you told me.
Okay. But then to close, it gets really easy because it's at Miami, and then they get the Giants twice, obviously home and away, at Washington. There is that little game stuck second to last against Dallas. But my point is, that schedule is far easier unless they lost their first 2 games. And don't let my team win at Detroit and then lose at New England and then finish with 5 straight wins, because that would add up to 11-5. That's
Skip.
And the way I got you, if you lose the next 2, you're going to finish 10-6. So. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Does that mean one of those 2 teams? Oh, that would mean Dallas gets in the playoffs.
First of all, you're not going to Skip. Nothing has changed in my mind because I told you at the beginning of the season, you guys were not going to make the playoffs. You said that's the most outlandish, that might be the most foolish thing you said since we've been on this show 3 years. That's what you told me.
I did.
I don't look so foolish, and I do.
Nope, you don't.
Exactly.
I agree. Is it over?
It's over for you.
Remember last year, my team was 3-5, and you were just hoo-hawing over there.
You see?
Right?
This is what happens to you.
3-5.
And this is what happens to you and Cowboys and Jerry. You see, and Cowboys fans. We were 3-5 last year. At least this year we're 5-4. Last year was last year. This is this year. Skip, you know what? See, here's the problem. There are 2 things I don't trust about the Cowboys: Dak Prescott and the coaching staff. Because there have been 6 games in which you scored 3 points or less in the first quarter. You're 2-4 in those games. And you know who those wins come against? The Giants in Washington. What are the likelihood they make the playoffs? Not very good. Thank you very much.
You're right. Yep. Is it over?
No, it's over for you.
Oh, really?
Everything but the crying.
Okay.
Everything but the crying. And you know, matter of fact, I forgot this for you already. I knew you were going to start crying.
Nice.
I haven't said this over here because I knew it was going to happen.
I cry all the time.
Skip, this is going to hurt.
I got my own. Thank you.
Skip, this is going to hurt. You know why it's going to hurt? Because it started out with so much promise. It started,
expectations.
You know, with the relationship, you every day with the person. Yeah. You hold their hands, y'all going to the movies, you're taking trips around the world, and then all of a sudden, one of the parties says, you know what? I got to stop and get off the train. Oh, I can't believe you did that to me. Somebody's crying. And that's what happened to you. Oh, there was there was 3-0.
You speak from experience?
I ain't speaking from nothing. I'm speaking from a position of power. I'm speaking from the catbird seat.
But you sound like you're speaking from the heart. How dare you do that to me after I took you around the world?
They already know. Shannon took them to In-N-Out or something like that. And you go around the world.
You're not going to In-N-Out.
Shannon ain't been nowhere. But anyway, Skip, you know what? And I love this, Skip, because I told you. I said, there are 2 teams coming out of the North, and there's 2 teams coming out of the West.
I agree.
So only one team is coming out of the East.
Correct.
And they're going to be.
You are so right.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Okay.
Fly, Eagles, fly. Skip, and see, the bye came at a perfect time because you're going to get Jason Peters' help. Brooks just signed a contract extension.
He got a big one.
Woo, yeah, that Achilles is healed up. They didn't even expect them back to this point.
Wow.
And he came back early, so I like Skip. You know what? Jordan Matthews can't play anywhere else but in Philly.
Really?
He has a great rapport with Walker to him. Now watch, he gonna come up big on Sunday.
Well, I know where he could play in college, at Vanderbilt University, that pro pipeline that is Vanderbilt. There it is again. There's another Vandy kid.
This is what we know about the Cowboys. They are the greatest of all the professional sports teams. They are the greatest front runners in all of pro sports. Because you saw what they did against Philly. They jump out to a 14-0 lead, and all of a sudden they're walking around and prancing Jenny like a mule with a hat on. Don't worry about it. Yeah, you could imagine that what it sounds like, because I've seen a mule in a hat.
What they did last year, you call that front running when you go from 3-5 to the division title? Is that front running? No. That's like running from behind.
Listen to what I'm saying. Yeah. When they get the lead, you saw what they did against the Eagles. They jump out 14-0, and guys doing handstands, and D. Ware and Robert Quinn, he riding the rodeo, he riding, and D. Law and Wolf Hunter howling, all that.
Who won that game?
I ain't seen, what I see, well, hold on. What I see Sunday? I ain't seen nobody riding the cowboy. I ain't seen no genuine song being played. Let's rock. All I heard was Paula Cole. Where have all the cowboys gone?
You listen to that?
Yeah, I love Paula Cole. Yeah. Where they gone, Skip?
I don't know.
It's over. Yeah. It's over for you. I told you from day one. And it's going to hurt even more because the season started with so much promise. But I told you were playing.
You're right.
Really not very good teams.
Yeah. Not just a bunch of junk we played early on. A bunch of junk. Yeah, I agree. You got me. It's over. And are they going to throw the parade? They had a bye week. Did they throw the parade? No. No. Little ticker tape? Nope.
Don't worry about what we got going on. Yep. You worry about your team.
If I were you, I'd be worried about your team this coming Sunday because here come Brady and Belichick. Win? How many cases?
All I do is win, no matter what.
How many? 3, 2? I'll do one. If you want to just be chicken and do one, I'll do one. I'll take New England coming off a bye.
Skip, I've been busting you up. I've been busting you up lately.
And by the way, have you already just jumped right off the Russell Wilson bandwagon? Because if you just anointed him to open this show, you don't think he can win at Philly?
Hold on.
Come on.
That's not
he just won at San Francisco.
That's not what I said.
Higher degree of difficulty at San Francisco or at Philadelphia? Philadelphia lost at home to Detroit. Philadelphia lost at Atlanta. Philadelphia got dominated at Dallas.
And all of those losses, nothing is more crushing than losing to the Jets.
You got me. You are right. I completely agree. It's over, says you. But says the schedule. The schedule says it's just getting started.
Hold on.
Right?
We coming off the bye. We got New England, Seattle. Win.
Okay.
Win at Dolphins.
Show me invincible in the NFC, Mr. Sharpe. Show me one team where you say nobody can beat that team. Show me one.
I can show. I tell you what I can do. I can show you a team that's not going to make the playoffs. Dallas Cowboys.
Okay. Show me an invincible.
Washington.
Show me. Huh? Show me invincible. Help me out. I just went down the list. Green Bay? Minnesota? San Francisco? Seattle? Give me one. New Orleans?
There is no such thing as invincible.
Help me out. I'm looking for invincible.
There is no
I'm looking for game over.
Okay, well, hold on. Show me an invincible team in the AFC.
The Cowboys don't play in the
But that's my point,
AFC.
Skip. There is no invincibility in the NFL. The teams are, on a given Sunday, anything can happen. On a given Monday or Thursday, whenever they play, anything can happen. But I feel very comfortable from where I'm standing. I'm in the catbird seat.
You are. I agree. And it ain't over.
It's over for you.
Yeah, okay.
It's not over for us.
Well,
we try to get one of them.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games left. That's a lot of games.
We 5-2.
It is a lot. Yeah.
7 out of 16. That's
I think, you know what, Skip?
Skip,
you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking we're gonna be 6-1 or 7-0 in those games.
7-0.
6-1.
I'll bet you.
6-1?
I'll bet you 10 cases you won't be 7-0.
6-1.
10?
7-0.
Yeah.
6-1.
Would you take it?
I tell you what, we're gonna
7-0 for 7 cases.
No.
7, 6, 5.
We will win the division.
4.
You want another 3 cases? We win the division and you guys don't?
No.
Why not?
You're in the catbird seat.
Hold on, you got
Why would
that.
I do
Hold on.
that?
You got that.
No,
I
you won't
heard
put your due where your mouth is.
I'm trying to figure out.
Here come New England and Seattle.
Skip, you got the guy with the number 1 QBR.
I'll
and
tell
you
you
won't
what.
bet.
New England and Seattle. I'll bet you 10 cases you don't go 2-0 in those games. Come on.
Skip,
have some guts. Courage of your conviction.
We're going to pick this game.
Back up all your trash talk.
We're going to pick
You're
this game.
talking big and bad, but you won't back it up.
Because walking to, I'm going to back it up.
Because you're still running scams.
No.
Yeah.
Hold up. I'm thinking after next week, not this week, after next week, we'll be in the front. You'll be in the back.
Okay.
How you like that, Skip?
Good luck. I like my position right now.
No, you don't like your
Okay.
position.
I
Skip,
do.
I like
you had
I'd
a
rather be
2-game
the underdog.
First of all,
Yeah.
you had a 2-game lead.
I like my team as
Skip,
the
you had a
underdog.
2-game lead.
Yeah, I was 3-5 last year. My quarterback said, "Watch this."
I didn't know I could take such joy in the Cowboys' struggles. I don't know who I am.
like
feel
it.
Everybody
spiteful
does.
these days.
That's okay.
I don't take
like
joy.
it like that.
Who
I don't
am I?
take joy in
Yeah.
Cowboys losing. I don't take no pleasure in that.
Stop it.
Listen, first of all, you cost me Christmas ornaments. So don't talk about I take pride in that.
Not even
you cost me
invited
Christmas
anymore to the
ornaments.
You would
holiday
sell your
party.
soul for a Christmas ornament?
No, you cost me Christmas ornaments. I was getting I'm talking about big ones, this big.
You know what? I get nothing from the
Yeah, they
Cowboys.
should send you
You
nothing.
should get something.
All the holiday
nothing.
gifts.
Where you get nothing, now we even, because I get nothing.
Okay.
Thanks to you.
Kawhi Leonard struggled in his first game against his former team that he won a championship with. Kawhi managed a 12-point, 11-rebound double-double, but only shot 2 for 11 from the field and turned the ball over 9 times. Lou Williams led all scorers in the game with 21 off the bench, and the Clippers won 98-88. Kawhi said that as soon as he crossed half court, the Raptors, quote, tried to get the ball out of my hands. Yeah, that's normally how it works. Shannon, what letter grade would you give Kawhi for last night?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, Gil Bayless. Now
I don't know what you're laughing at.
Cause you know when you had so much to talk about. You had so much to talk about, you hold up the stat sheet yesterday.
Yep.
You know, my girl would say, boy, God don't like ugly. Sometimes he don't like pretty. Like, huh, what you mean by? As I got older, I started understanding. You see how you beat up on LeBron? He need load management. He looked tired.
Yeah, he did.
Hold on. How you got to look? I'm trying to figure out, how does a guy, his boss came to him yesterday and say, son, damn, you took the day off the day before, you look worse than when you came in sick the other day.
Yep.
That was Kawhi. Hold on, Skip. I know good and well, Kawhi Leonard. Hold on. What was Kawhi? Let me get Kawhi numbers. Kawhi had 12 points, 9 assists, and 11 rebounds, right? Yeah. And 9 turnovers. I told you he opened up a bakery. See, you weren't here Friday, Jenny. He opened up a bakery.
Bakery.
But it's hard for pastries and bakeries to make it in California because so many people is going vegan.
Yeah.
They want salad. They want,
trend.
they want good eats. They want, sweet greens and tender greens. They want things like that. So open up a bakery is hard. But old Kawhi Leonard, because he only had 3 flavors the other day, Skip. He had apple, cherry, and blackberry. Now he got rhubarb. Now he got a lot of flavors of
I
turnover.
hate rhubarb.
I know you do, but he love them.
Yeah.
Oh, I kind of like one.
I don't like it at all.
Oh, Skip Bayless. LeBron James only scored 13 points. Kawhi Leonard says, hold my beer. I can do you better. I can score less than that. Hold on. The best player on the planet? I'm trying to figure out, can someone find out the last time LeBron James played in a game in which the bench outscored the starters, in which he played at least 30 minutes? Kawhi Leonard played 35 minutes, and the bench outscored him. Huh?
Interesting.
Outscored him 56-42 with the best player on the planet coming off a load management.
Really?
He's
not coming off load management. He just played a game.
No. Stop it.
Okay.
He play a game, he miss a game, he miss a game, he play a game. But all I'm asking you, he has yet to have a triple-double. He said, I'm going to do one better. I'm going to get me an old quad-double. But it wasn't the one he wanted. He didn't have that Akeem Olajuwon quad-double. He didn't have that Alvin Robertson or that Nate Thurman. He about to get that thing with a turnover. He was closer to that one than the other.
So tell me when it's my turn, because I'm getting bored.
But you know what I'm going to give him, Skip? Just because it's for you. Because he Kawhi.
Yeah.
He Kawhi Leonard, get a D.
D? You give him D as in dog.
D.
Okay, big D. My turn.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Before I give my letter grade to my man Kawhi Leonard, I would like to point out that the Lakers, with two healthy superstars on Sunday evening at Staples, lost to Toronto by 9 points and gave up 113 to the defending champ Raptors. Lost by 9 and gave up 113.
Yes.
Last night, the Clippers at Staples, without Paul George, their other co-star, right, their other superstar, beat Toronto by 10 points, again, in the same building, Staples, while holding the Raptors to 88 points. So the Raptors scored 25 more points in Staples against the Lakers than they did the following night against the Clippers. And these are the same Lakers that I've been hearing from across the table. The best defensive team in basketball. Now the Lakers. 113 versus 88?
Yeah.
Something's wrong with that picture. What is it? And don't look now, Mr. Sharpe. But Paul George is due back within the week. I'm not sure which game it's going to be, but they're saying within the week he's going to join Kawhi Leonard. And all of a sudden, that defensive brilliance is going to go up off the charts.
We're talking about defensive brilliance. We're talking about Kawhi. Give Kawhi a letter grade.
I'm just trying to put this in perspective.
Well, put his grade in
LeBron's team allowed 113. Kawhi's team, because Kawhi can really lock down on defense, Toronto scored 88. Interesting. Which brings me to Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard, obviously, there's one team that knows Kawhi almost as well as the San Antonio Spurs used to.
Now we know it.
You know, they really know him. And I have never seen anything like the defense that Kawhi Leonard got played on him last night, because I watched every last dribble of this game. And it cost me a lot of sleep, but I didn't care, because I was going to watch it to the bitter end, because I was in awe of the fact that they trapped Kawhi, who's playing point forward. He just dribbles the ball up the court just like your man does. So when he would dribble the ball up the floor, they would trap double him at half court every time. With Siakam and whoever was closest would just come and trap him and say, no, you can't cross half court. You can step right across half court and you're not going to get another dribble, because you're going to have to give up the basketball. And the great Chauncey Billups, friend of mine, back from the days at ESPN, who's now the Clippers color commentator, said at one point in their telecast, the Toronto Raptors are not going to let Kawhi Leonard play basketball tonight. That's how the defense was played. Nick Nurse just said, hey, he's all they got. Let's make all the other four. Let's just give them free passes to the basket. So it can be anybody but Kawhi. And you know what? To his credit, he didn't go James Harden and say, I'm going to jack up 20 shots against double team.
Why not?
That's what James does on
Because that's what you criticize LeBron for. If you're the best player, take it over, LeBron.
This is the best healthy player on the planet, because Kevin Durant is the best player, but he's not playing right now. So the best healthy player on the planet said, you know what? I will just lay back and I will let my teammates win this game, and I will spend all the energy I can't spend on offense on defense. 88 points is what the Raptors managed.
Skip.
88 points.
Okay, I get that.
And by the way, I got to finish this off with there was one great assist that he delivered to JaMychal Green late in this game. It's a minute 20 left. It wouldn't have really mattered, but it would have given him a triple-double, which would have been fairly impressive. Here it is. He just dished it right in. JaMychal, you dropped the ball. You were going to dunk it, and he dropped the ball. That would have given him a triple-double.
Okay.
So he didn't quite get there. He shot the ball poorly. I give you that, because he didn't
No. Don't gloss over that.
I just said it.
No.
I didn't gloss. I said it. I acknowledge.
No, Skip. I want the conviction that you had yesterday. When LeBron shot Portland, I want that conviction.
I thought he was the best player on the planet.
No, you say Kawhi is. You say Kawhi is the best healthy player because Kevin Durant's not healthy. Now I want that conviction.
Kawhi Leonard dominated this game without scoring. Kawhi Leonard dominated on the defensive end because Toronto had a hard time making baskets last night. And they did it the correct way, the conventional way, the 5-on-5 way. They didn't trap. They didn't double team. They didn't junk defense. This was the all-time junk defense.
First of all, he experienced something for the very first time that's been happening to LeBron since he was gotten to the league.
I haven't seen this.
He happened to the league. Skip, babe, so I'm just trying to figure out. Now, Kawhi, turnovers, he's playmaking. Do you know Kawhi turnovers is up to what it was last year? So I guess he can't do everything. I guess he can't do everything better than LeBron. Because LeBron had 15 assists with 2 turnovers. He had 9 and 9. Now, I don't know if that ratio is really good. 1 turnover to 1 assist, I don't really know if that's a good ratio to have. But I just need you to tell me. Now, you keep talking about his teammates. You criticize LeBron for having teammates. You talk about why would you pass the ball to Landry Green? That's a teammate. But this guy has relied on Sweet Lou, Montrez, Harkless, all those guys all year, and y'all keep hyping him.
Toronto said, Sweet Lou, be our guest. Montrez, be our guest. Harkless, be our guest.
Skipper, you don't mind me asking, did Sweet Lou ever play for Toronto? He did.
Played for the Lakers.
He played. No. Oh, he played for Toronto. He played when Casey was there and Nick Nurse was under him. So they know Sweet Lou also.
And they just said, let him shoot. Let him have this.
Skip, at some point in time, your guy, that he's not it. He's not LeBron. He's never going to be LeBron. He can't hold it under LeBron.
Shannon, what are you and your team going to do when Paul George comes back to this defense? What are you going to do?
Put foots in them on Christmas Day.
How?
What you mean how?
With footsies on? You're going to put little slippers on?
I tell you what you do. 5 cases right now.
Okay.
For Christmas Day massacre.
Okay, what? You're going to give me 15?
I'm not giving you no points.
Give me 10?
I'm not giving you any points.
You just said it was a massacre.
A massacre.
I need points.
No, hold on. Why would you need points with the best player? Paul George was third in the MVP, defensive guy. Pat Beverly, defensive guy. Sweet Lou, Trez, Harkless, and all those guys coming up, and JaMychal Green coming off the bench. Straight up, 5 cases right now.
Nope, I'm not going to do it.
Why not?
Because Paul George might not be in rhythm and sync yet. He's got to play his way into shape. He's coming off surgery.
Well, why you bring it up? He's coming.
2 surgeries.
Why did you bring it up that he's coming back this week?
Here he comes. It's going to start now.
If he can't get in 6 weeks?
What's the oldest cliche about the NBA? It doesn't start until Christmas Day, so I don't want to put it.
Hold on, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on, time out, Skip. Hold on, time out.
You know what? They'll play, 2 more times after this? I'll go 5 cases on those 2 games.
No, hold on.
Yes.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Yes.
You said, hold on. You say
5 cases on each game, 3 and 4.
Okay,
give me time.
Let me make this point here. You said the season doesn't start till when? After Christmas?
Day.
So what the hell happened opening night? You said the season was over.
Oh, that's a good point.
You said Kawhi had done it. It was over.
No, everybody said this is a playoff atmosphere.
No,
right?
I'm giving no playoff. Hold on. So if it doesn't start till after Christmas, how the hell we gonna get a playoff atmosphere in opening day?
I don't know. I'm just going on what they said on
TNT. Who is they? I tell you what, when you find out who they is, tell them I'm put foots in them.
Well, Chris Haynes was at the game and he sat right there and said, "Boy, it was like a playoff game last night."
I'm telling you now.
Huh?
All of you keep making
Johnson.
You keep making
Charles.
You keep making these excuses. Yep. All I know
I'm
is
not
that
making any excuses.
How could LeBron James play 35 minutes and get 12 points, Jenny? How could that be? Kawhi says, "Here, hold my beer. I'm gonna get 12."
I don't think Kawhi drinks beer.
Somehow it doesn't fit.
No.
Now all of a sudden, this team knows him very well. He was emotional. He wanted. Hold on, he's the Terminator. The Terminator don't feel pain. Boy, they don't have feelings.
It was interesting. Kawhi went and hugged everybody. He hugged like every assistant coach after the game. But after that Laker game on opening night, he just went his own way.
You just said the man played in Toronto last year and they knew him and he knows them.
Yeah.
And you talk about why he hugged them.
He went and hugged all of them.
So let me ask you a question. When LeBron plays Cleveland, do you think he'll hug Tristan?
He hugs everybody.
I'm just asking you.
He hugs Sacramento.
No, he did not. Did he? Hold on. Let me ask you a question.
He does.
Did he hug somebody after they lost to Toronto? Or he walked up the court? Did he hug somebody after the Clippers? Did he hug somebody after the Clippers?
I don't know.
Exactly. You know.
I know
Exactly.
the Terminator didn't hug anybody. He terminated.
Hell, I thought he was running for president. All the people he was hugging and kissing. Is he a politician or is he an NBA player?
What are you talking about?
The way he was hugging people last night. Skinning and grinning in the face.
Doc said before the game, he created a bond last year with those players because they won it all that will be lifelong.
Of course. Of course. You don't think I have a bond with the guys that I played with in Baltimore that we won the championship with? Yes, Skip. But you make it seem like, Kawhi doesn't hug anybody. Kawhi does, and what he was doing in San Antonio. hell, politicking, hugging people, kissing. Can I have your vote? Can I have your vote? Thank you very much.
You can't take days off as a politician, though.
By the way, who still leads the NBA in fourth quarter scoring? Help me out. Fourth quarter scoring? God, he's just still running away with it.
Who still has the best record in the West? Who still has the best record in the West?
Well, we'll see about that.
Who has the best? What are we going to see about?
He's the second now. He's a little behind Dame.
I thought he was still ahead. Because last night he had going in, he had
I checked my notes.
I don't think so.
Pretty sure.
No, I think
he's actually a fraction
because he was like
behind.
6 points ahead.
That's what happens when you don't score any.
10.8 points per game.
I don't know about
Oh,
that.
Dame
I'll
Dollar.
have to check the notes.
Dame Dollar, holla. That's my guy, Dame Dollar in the
I can't
fourth.
wait to watch the Lakers at Phoenix.
Watch it.
Yeah.
Watch it.
All right.
This is interesting.
I bet I come in here with that goat mask tomorrow. What you want to put something on that?
You're going to goat mask Phoenix? It's come to this?
Phoenix is
You got a grovel for Phoenix?
As a matter of fact, hold on. Didn't Phoenix put Foots in Clippers? Mm-hmm. Okay, then.
Yeah. So you're going to goat mask Phoenix? Okay. All right.
We're going to have to see about that. How about we go back to the Cowboys
we got to get this.
a little
5
bit.
cases on Game 3 and Game 4.
No. Cripple.
Come on.
Paul George will have 6 weeks to get himself back in shape.
It'll take longer than that.
Longer than 6
He's had
weeks?
2 shoulder surgeries. 2. Come on.
Okay. It's up for debate. No mercy. In the Cowboys' 28-24 loss to the Vikings on Sunday, Ezekiel Elliott was held to only 47 yards on 20 carries. And after the game, Jerry Jones said, quote, "You just basically could have put a sign on the start of the game that said Zeke's not going anywhere." That's pretty harsh. Okay, meanwhile, Dak Prescott did all he could in the loss. The Cowboys QB was 3 yards shy of 400 through the air, had 3 TDs, and put up a QBR of 87.5. So, Shannon, has Dak proven he is the most important Cowboy?
Skip, why you keep doing this?
I didn't do anything.
You did it.
Jenny asked the question.
I did ask the question.
No. Dak is not the most important
Really, you're still
Cowboy.
holding out.
No, there's no holding
You're
out.
like
Skip.
the guy who's still fighting the war and it's over.
No, it's
You're
not.
still in your foxhole in the jungle. I'm still fighting. Well, the war ended a year ago.
It did, but you keep firing ammunition over my head, so I think the war is still raging on because you keep saying this. You know Dak is not. Skip, what did Jerry just say? Jerry said you could have put a sign up. He didn't say you could have put a sign up, say they're going to play coverage and they're going to try to stop Dak Prescott. That's not what he said. He said you could have put a sign up that says basically Zeke's not going anywhere. And I told you that yesterday.
Jerry doesn't know that much about football.
Also, now Jerry don't know anything about football. Now he don't know about
He
football.
sure thinks he does.
Yeah.
Everything starts with Zeke. Skip, here we go again. Dak is 1-10 when he fails to reach 100 or 75. Let that sink in, Skip. 1-10. The first game, and it was over, but guess what it is now? Guess what? Who they beat, Skip? Guess who that one victory came against? The Giants. Eli Giants. When last time you heard somebody mention Eli? Eli Manning, Eli Rogers, Eli Whitney, whoever invented the cotton gin. When the last time you heard somebody mention Eli?
The Giants would be winning more games.
No, they would not.
if Eli
Stop it.
were
Stop
still
playing,
the
Skip.
starting quarterback.
Skip.
They would have won a couple more games.
Even when Dak plays well, teams are geared to stop Zeke Elliott because they said if we can't stop Zeke, we can't beat the Cowboys. And I'm going to turn it over to you because I know you're chomping at the bit to talk. Dak is having his best season in his NFL career. Most yards at this point, most touchdowns, highest completion percentage. He's number 1 in QBR, and he has a 5-4 record to show for it. Take it away.
If only he could play safety.
No.
If only they would call some running plays for my quarterback, because then maybe we'd have a running game, because we don't got any running game. And what I'm about to chomp on, I'm not on the bid, I'm going to chomp on all your tired old argument. You keep spitting across the table. The truth is, Dak Prescott became the driving force of this football team a year ago when they acquired Amari Cooper at 3-5. That's when he became the MVP of this team, the most important player of this team. The reason this team took off and won the division last year was the quarterback, who then finally did have an actual rapport with and connection with a true, genuine number 1 wide receiver. And all he did over the last 10 games last year was lead this league in completions. But not only did he do that, he wasn't dinking and dacking anymore because he was third in the league over those 10 games in length of pass.
Okay.
So all of a sudden, wait, lead in completions and third in length of pass. Something is really going on because the truth was last year, midseason, my team turned into a passing football team. That's who they are. That's who they've been all year. They're a passing football team.
And what they got to show for it?
Well, they're 5-4 because the defense has been atrocious.
Oh, not the defense.
Well, you do. It's like a two-way street.
Oh,
you have to have some defense,
Oh,
especially when the game starts. It helps to have it. But here's the point. I hate to say this, but I'm going to keep driving it home because I still love Ezekiel Elliott. I'm glad he's on my team. He's just not what he used to be, Shannon, and you won't acknowledge that. You won't give up the ship on this because the ship's passed you in the night. And I've been calling it this and calling him out for a month on this show because he's a shell of himself, of his rookie self. Help me out here. He's now 8th in rush yards in this league. This is a guy who used to lead the league in rushing.
The season's not over.
Right? He's 16th in yards per attempt. 16th? He's 19th in what Pro Football Focus calls elusive rating because he just doesn't make anybody miss.
Skip, he's never made people miss.
How many times have I told you I don't see the burst, I don't see sudden anymore, and I definitely don't see any breakaway speed from Ezekiel Elliott. So how can you continue to make the case they go as Zeke goes? He's going nowhere. He's running in Cabo sand.
Even though that being said, that should let you know when he doesn't do what he does, you don't win. Dak throws for 463, you lose. Dak throws for 397, you lose. Zeke runs for 100, you win.
Why, when he threw for 463, they lose? Because they were down 31-3.
Why is that?
Because the defense didn't even show up for that game.
Did Dak arrive late to the game?
Aaron Rodgers and company scored 11 points at Chargers. They were up 31-3 at Dallas.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
That is shameful.
It is.
That's all-time embarrassing.
That your quarterback allowed that to happen on his watch.
Yeah,
he was on that wall.
So my quarterback is now pulling away with the QBR lead in the whole NFL. He's pulling away because Russell Wilson plummeted last night. He's second in passing yards as Dak Prescott. He's second in completions of 20 or more yards. Second in the whole league. You used to dismiss him out. He can't throw and he just dinks.
How many passing yards that guy?
I don't have any idea. He's second right now, tied for second with Tom Brady in on-target attempts, says Pro Football Focus, and he's tied for third in touchdown passes. Is that good? That sounds.
He's tied for third. It's again.
You know what? For most quarterbacks, if I gave you those numbers, they'd be right in the middle of the MVP race. Yeah. But you can't put him there because they're 5-4.
Yeah, you can't put him there.
Yet they would be 6-3 if the coaching staff hadn't taken the ball out of his hands on second and 2 at the 11. If he gets to throw on second, third, and/or fourth down to a wide receiver or a tight end, they're going to win that game 31-28.
And you know what happens?
He's on fire.
And
He's
you know
unstoppable.
What happens, because you let him throw it 4 times and they go incomplete. They're going to say you couldn't run Zeke at least once or twice.
Yeah, well, so, you know, and I know that would not have happened.
Yes, it would have.
He was unstoppable. He had thrown them from their 6-yard line all the way to the 11-yard line with 6 completions.
Skip.
Help me out.
Skip.
And then you put the game back in the hands of the guy who goes nowhere slowly.
Skip, think about this, Skip. Even think about this. You're correct. Dak is lighting them up. But Zim makes no changes. He doesn't play coverage. He doesn't play quarters coverage. He doesn't play any cover 2. He still puts Harrison Smith at the line of scrimmage because he wants to bottle Zeke up. Why is that?
I saw a lot of fake blitzes. I saw a lot of mixed up coverage.
Yes.
I saw a lot of camouflage.
Yeah, you saw, Skip. Yes, you did. You saw Harrison Smith start at the line, and then he hauled tail and got back got to the middle of the field.
Yep.
But guess what the other safety did? We call that rocking and rolling, where one guy rocks, the other guy rolls back to the middle. That's what they were doing. They still refused to let Zeke run the football. You won't acknowledge that, Skip. I'm just telling you what every defensive coordinator in America says.
All I know is it's not that hard to keep Zeke from running the football because, number one, I'll give you this. The line is not great at run blocking except against the Giants up at the Giants.
Yeah.
When Zeke said, these are the biggest holes I've ever run through my whole career, including college and going back to high school and Pee-wee football.
I wouldn't go quite that far.
Well, that's what he said. He said, in my whole life, I've never had holes this wide. Okay? So what am I seeing? I'm seeing a guy who's easily stopped. Who doesn't have, remember as a rookie, he would hit the line of scrimmage with body lean like I'd never seen before. He would hit holes and bolt through holes. And all of a sudden, he'd be 10 yards deep in the secondary. And if you let him get up ahead of steam, he can carry 3 tacklers on his back for another 6
Well, hold on,
yards.
Skip. You commended how he ran over
Cam Chancellor?
No, not Cam.
That was
Malcolm Jenkins.
Yeah.
You like that? You said, he's back.
It set an early tone in the
game. He's back. 100 yards.
Okay.
But you did what you
Then
felt.
what happened?
100 yards.
Yeah,
100 yards.
Yeah.
By
the way, he was on the team last year when they fell to 3-5. So the reverse stat of that is that, wait a second, where was Zeke?
Hold on.
He was getting his carries. He was getting to eat all he wanted to eat, and they were falling to 3-5. And then all of a sudden, they turned into a passing team.
Hold on. Was Dak on that roster also?
Yeah.
So what was he? What the hell was he doing when they were going 3-5?
Well, he didn't have anybody to throw to.
Oh, now he ain't got nobody to throw to. So you see, I see another excuse coming. Grab one, Skip. I took that up to you too.
Okay. Did he have a number 1 receiver? Who was it? Help me out. Alan Hearns? Help me out. Who was it?
Oh, my goodness.
Who was it? Cole Beasley?
Cole Beasley doing big things in Buffalo.
Oh, he's doing big things. I'll take Randall Cobb any day, any night. I'll take him.
I bet you would.
Yep.
And you got him.
I got
and what
him.
he got you?
Yeah. Well,
5-4.
If Randall Cobb could play corner, maybe it would.
Maybe Randall Cobb need to go back to Kentucky and start playing quarterback and bring that to Dallas. Maybe if he played quarterback.
When will you admit the driving force of this team, for better or for worse, is the quarterback?
When I can see Dak Prescott consistently win games without Ezekiel Elliott running for 100+, that's when I'll admit that. But until then, I'm not admitting it because it's not true.
What does Zeke look like to you? You're in the Hall of Fame. What does he look like?
He's like a running back.
Does he? Does he look as good as he used to look?
Skip.
Does he?
Running.
I want to know what you think.
I mean, you got 4 first.
I put myself clear on the end of the limb. I'm saying I don't see what I used to see from him. I'm saying Jerry, at this point, looks like he way overpaid Ezekiel Elliott. $50 million guaranteed for that?
Yep.
Help me out.
Yeah.
Is it wrong?
No.
Yeah. So you're seeing the same Zeke you've always seen.
Skip. You make it seem like Zeke had these McCaffrey and Saquon Barkley 80 and 70-yard rushes. He never had that in the NFL. He's never been that guy. No, when?
Take screen passes.
He took one.
Yeah.
He took one in Pittsburgh.
Okay, next time we do this, I'll go back and look up at all the long runs he had as a rookie and in his second year because he had a whole bunch.
But Skip, from his rookie year, they started off his second year, they tailed off. Third year, they really tailed off, and they're not there now. But he's really never been that guy that says, okay, he's going to hit his head on his goalpost from 40.
I covered Dallas Cowboy teams through the 1990s. Everybody came in saying, we are going to take Emmitt Smith away from you because they were a flat-out running football team. And what happened every single Sunday? Nobody could stop them. They just ran as simple an offense. It was Emmitt right and Emmitt left.
So Emmitt got 100 yards every game.
Hand it to him right or toss it to him.
Emmitt got 100 yards every game.
He set the all-time record, is what he said.
Well, yes, yes.
But nobody could stop Emmitt Smith.
So what we gonna do? So what we gonna do about Troy back there in the Hall of Fame? What we gonna do about him?
He did, but they were not a passing football team. Go look at the numbers.
No.
I mean, Dak's numbers are way up above Troy.
But here's the thing: they threw early and they ran the clock out on your butt late.
Well, not really. They just ran it down your throat. Okay. Trust me.
Okay.
Trust me. 92, 93, 94, 95. Just look at what happened.
Oh, that was
all in it.
Yeah.
No mercy. Russell Wilson continued his MVP campaign last night, handing the 49ers their first loss of the season. Wilson has 23 passing touchdowns to just 2 picks on the season, and he has another 3 TDs on the ground. Lamar Jackson made his own MVP statement this weekend with his second perfect passer rating of the season. Lamar has been efficient as a passer and also has over 700 yards on the ground, which is the 11th most in the league. Wow, we're now joined by Super Bowl champ and Fox college football analyst Reggie Bush. It is a lot to digest.
A lot to digest.
So right now, Reggie, who is your MVP? Are you going to go with Russell or Lamar?
Well, I think after watching last night's Monday Night Football game, I think Russell won up Lamar Jackson again because I think before Russell played that game, I was all in on Lamar Jackson, just what he's been able to do this season. And it kind of also depends on what's the criteria that we're basing this MVP race on, because the conventional criteria is going to tell you, well, Russell's the MVP, but Lamar Jackson is really challenging the narrative as to what we've all kind of grown to, when we watch quarterbacks, like the Tom Brady's, the Drew Brees, Peyton Manning's, the pocket passer quarterbacks who can put up yards and touchdowns through the air. Well, Lamar Jackson is challenging that right now. And, I struggle with it. I go back and forth because, again, before Russell played last night, I was all in Lamar.
Yeah.
Now seeing Russell come back once again, right, it just feels like whenever you watch Russell, no matter how much they're down by, no matter what the situation is, he's going to find a way to get his team back in the position to win the football game. Mm-hmm. And I think you have to take that into account. You can't discount that because that's so valuable and so important. He's out there doing it with just guys. Mm-hmm. Like, he's making guys great players, and that's a sign of an MVP candidate. When you elevate the play of the guys around you, right? They don't have a dominant receiver.
No.
Sure.
They don't even have
I don't know. Tyler Lockett's pretty good.
But he got hurt last night.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Russell still won the game without him, right? And so Josh Gordon enters 2 or 3 big third down conversions. And so that's a sign of a great quarterback and an MVP candidate when you can elevate the play of anybody around you, no matter who they are. And I still think Lamar Jackson is getting there. He's not quite there yet.
See, well, I thought he had. I had given. Even after watching Lamar on Sunday, I still thought Russ had a slight lead, and I think he increased it slightly because what he did on the road. Now, remember the New England Patriots signed Antonio Brown. Mm-hmm. They tried to lure Gronk. There was a report came out that Mr. Kraft won't rob Gronkowski to come back from the playoffs. 2 guys that was on Russell on the Seattle Seahawks last night that were out there making plays that the Patriots said, even though we need wide receivers, we don't need, and tight ends, we don't want you guys, Hollister and Gordon. Mm-hmm. Now, the guys at the Patriots, they signed AB, they don't have depth at wide receivers. They, Josh Gordon, they're like, whew, Josh Gordon, man.
Yeah. Well, wait a second. The great Shannon Sharpe told me that Josh Gordon can't run anymore. It's like he has a piano on his back.
It looked like to me last night, they said, Josh, run the slant. Yeah. He had 1 route to run. They put him on the left, he ran a slant. They put him on the right, he ran a slant.
And at one point on a crucial down, he was in trips right, and they called timeout and took him out of the game because I think he didn't know what to do.
Yeah, probably right. That's understandable. But Skip, when you look at this in these one-score games, he's 7-1 in one-score games with 21 touchdowns, 1 interception. Oof. And he keeps doing it. He keeps finding ways to win with a high completion percentage. His QBR is still in the top 5. You said he's 3 now. Mahomes is number 2. Dak is number 1. And so when you look at all that, what he's doing, Skip, and that's the thing is the hardest thing for a defensive guy. Skip, when you go to the line of scrimmage, the defensive coordinator called a play based on what he thinks you're running, based on all the information, the data that they've accumulated over the time they've watched you play. D&D, area of the field, position of where the ball is spotted. Okay, what Russell is most dangerous when that play is covered and it breaks down and he's off script. Yeah. Because you have no idea. Because he can run it and get you 30 yards like we saw last night, or he can run around by time and throw it to the guy and pick up a first down on 3rd and 16. That's what makes him so dangerous. Also what makes Lamar Jackson so dangerous. But I think Lamar is close.
Yeah, really
Skip,
close.
I think the thing is, once Cam really won the MVP with his style of play, that wisdom that only a pocket passer can win the MVP, Skip, that was done away with. Yeah. And I think now you're going to see more of these guys get consideration. Maybe there's a time down the road that even Kyler Murray, if he can get an offensive line to support him. But Lamar Jackson, I got Russ 1, Lamar Jackson 2 right now in my MVP voting.
Man, I must have watched the wrong game last night. I don't know. You know what? I took a bite of one of Chef Shay's brownies that he cooked up, and I must have hallucinated what I saw last night on TV.
He said he put some in there.
He's got the special ingredients.
But see, what I told Dion is that you eat these and stay grounded. When you get up in there 30,000 feet, your elevation.
You gotta stay away.
Panic attack.
Doesn't go well. Panic attack. Lesson learned.
You know what? I'm just thankful I didn't have a panic attack watching this game last night because, man, I was seeing something else. I saw MVP runaway, Russell Wilson. I saw him last night struggle throughout the game, especially in the first 4 quarters. He threw for a grand total of 155 yards. And with 12-12 left in the football game, and they're up commanding 21-10. So this wasn't a comeback special by Russell. He's up 21-10. Could we see what happened on that play? Because he drops back to pass on 2nd down from his 35. And you got to protect the football. Russ! Russ, they just took it right out of your hand.
This play was crazy, by the way.
This is crazy because now your offensive lineman has it. He gets stripped.
Yeah.
And
Well, he took it from Russ.
Yeah, he did.
okay.
Scott, look at that.
Okay.
Why is he trying to run,
Because
Skip?
the ball was loose. The ball was loose.
Just fall on it.
But I'm saying,
He tried to run with the ball. What you doing?
help me out. Was that an MVP play?
No,
because it allowed them to score and 2-point conversion,
Right.
and
Yeah,
all of a sudden it's
3-point
21-18.
Correct.
And then help me out. This was not the comeback king in overtime. First drive of overtime, he drives them down, and it's like 2nd and 5 from the 14-yard line. There goes the scoop and score, DeForest Buckner. Here's the interception.
Yep.
He throws that to a rookie 5th-round pick out of Arkansas. It's a terrible underthrow. It's a cardinal sin interception.
Yeah.
If Dak Prescott throws that interception, I would hear about it for the next 3 years on this show. It would be the first topic of the day for 3 straight years. Dak blew the game at San Francisco with an overtime
But
interception.
Skip, if you watch this play, he baited him. He looked like 57, looked like he was going to drive on the swing route to the back, and then he backed up out of it.
Is that an MVP play?
Skip,
That ball got returned 47 yards, and it led to what should have been the game-winning field goal for the 49ers. But the substitute kicker signed off the street this week to replace Robbie Gould, gets out there after he made one, and he just gagged it. And he hit, Reggie plays golf, it was the biggest duck hook, snap hook you've ever seen. Like closed face, just going straight left. It was left off his foot, right?
Yeah. Not good.
It didn't have a chance.
It had no chance.
Okay, but it could have been the end of Russell Wilson's MVP candidacy if that ball goes through the upright.
Well, there was also a couple things that happened in that game. One, great job by Seattle's offense to get back and stop that from being a touchdown, because that could have been a game-winning touchdown.
Right.
But also, I think when we look at the criteria, if you factor in the games won, right? Like we're talking about how Russell Wilson comes back time and time again against teams to win football games. Well, you also got to factor in that Lamar Jackson beat Russell Wilson head-to-head.
At Russell's house.
At Russell's house. Also beat Tom Brady head-to-head
and
at his house.
Outwitted, I thought, Coach Belichick.
Yeah, and so that's why I say I feel the times are changing, because more and more quarterbacks look like Russell Wilson and look like Lamar Jackson, right? And that's something that we can be proud of as well. But when you look at the criteria of the games, he's been able to go into some of the toughest places to play and beat.
He just beat the undefeated team on the road.
Yeah.
Just did that.
Okay, but Jimmy G didn't have he didn't have Kittle, and he then finally didn't have Emmanuel Sanders.
Well, Jimmy G needs to hold on to the football.
Well, he does.
He needs to do a better job of
sloppy
protecting.
game.
He needs to do a better job, because I know that was driving his head coach, because I know his head coach.
Oh, yeah.
I played for his dad, Mike Shanahan, and turnovers would drive him crazy, especially, Skip, when you're in you got the game, you're commanding the game. The game is totally in your control. And from the time he fumbled that ball and Jadeveon Clowney scooped it and scored, the game totally changed.
It did.
And then all of a sudden he fumbles again and he throws another horrible pick. I'm like, dude.
I want to remind everyone, Coach Belichick picked that guy to replace Tom Brady 2 years ago.
Well, he tried to.
Not going to forget around here.
Okay, what about this? Is something that I think is also getting overshadowed, obviously, because of the great play we've seen on the field. But what about the poor clock management at the end of the game by the 49ers?
Oh, yeah, you got to run that ball. You got to run
the football.
Run it one time, and you can pop it out. Because you almost lost the game in regulation.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's on your young
That's
They
all.
got the ball. So Russell had the ball, turned it over with 1:50 on the clock.
Right.
They got it back with 1:30 on the clock. Like, you only took 20 seconds off the clock.
Not with the way Jimmy G was playing.
No mercy. Joe Burrow and second-ranked LSU did what hadn't been done since 2015, and that is win a game in Tuscaloosa against Nick Saban and Alabama. The Tigers put it on Bama early and took a 33-13 lead into halftime. Burrow had just under 400 yards with only 8 incompletions and 3 touchdowns. Tua Tagovailoa tried, but he just wasn't able to lead a comeback in the second half, despite having over 400 yards in the game. Alabama was ranked 3rd before the loss, and the updated college football playoff rankings are released tonight. So, Reggie, what did this game tell you?
Well, it told me what I already assumed, and it's LSU's the #1 team in the nation, and it's Joe Burrow's Heisman to lose at this point. He has showed up time and time again on the biggest stages, in the biggest games when they've needed him most. They beat Florida. They beat Auburn. They went into Texas, beat Texas. They have had the most impressive wins. When you talk about strength of schedule, right, we're talking about the college football playoffs. Nobody's done it better than LSU. And then you go into Alabama and you beat Alabama when you haven't beaten them in I don't know how many years. One, I'm happy for Coach O because he recruited me to USC, and the reason why I went there is a huge deal for him. Mm-hmm. But also, at the same time, just for LSU fans, for people in New Orleans, like I know how much this win means for them. This is a big-time win for them. And, again, it just proved what I already kind of thought. You know, we had ranked Joe Burrow as a number one Heisman contender, and I think that was his Heisman game. I think that was his statement game. So I think he pretty much won the Heisman already.
Yeah. For me, Skip, we looked at Alabama, and I knew this was not the type of defensive team that they've had in years past. At some point in time, guys keep leaving, going to the NFL early. That catches up with you. And then two of your best players, you lose them before the season with knee injuries. And so that sets you behind the eight ball. I think they're starting 4 true freshmen. And that finally caught up with them. Skip, but if you look at teams that have beaten Coach Saban, you look at the teams that have beaten him. Johnny Manziel, he won the Heisman. Mm-hmm. Cam Newton, he won the Heisman. Deshaun Watson, we know what he represents in the NFL. And Trevor Lawrence beat him last year in the title game, who could possibly be the number 1 draft pick in a year from now. Mm-hmm. So you're not just, and Joe Burrow's obviously, and as Reggie mentioned, he's the Heisman front runner, and he's vaulted himself into a top 5 player. So it's going to come down probably between him and Tua and Herbert. How do you say that? Herbert. Herbert. Skip, but I think the thing is, and the turnovers really hurt Alabama because Tua fumbles the ball. You lose 3. At the worst case, you lose 3. They go down and get 7. So from 3, you get nothing. Now they get 7. And Skip, that 14-point swing in 20 seconds right before the end of the half was a little bit more than they could overcome. But you see what the AP did. They only dropped them to 4. It's going to be very interesting, Skip, because if they went out, they beat Auburn. Auburn beat Oregon. Mm-hmm. So which would you rather have make the college football playoff, Skip? Pac-12 winner in Oregon or a Pac-1 loss team in Oklahoma lost to K-State? Because I can tell you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. If Alabama wins out, sitting there with 1 loss, it's on and popping again.
Shannon, it is over for Alabama.
Okay.
If you give up 46 in Tuscaloosa, I don't care whether it's to Joe Burrow or Burrow.
You gave up 40 plus to K-State. Now, which is better, LSU or K-State?
I thought we were talking about Alabama.
I'm just saying, I'm a college football player. Jenny asked the question. What was the question?
At home, 46.
Well, it was what the game told you, so you could take a lot from that.
You gave up 33 in the first half at home, and you're trailing 33-13. And the great Paul Feinbaum at ESPN wrote, I think this was a tweet, Nick Saban has been schooled in his last 2 consequential games. Not a good look for the GOAT. What do I always tell you? Saint Nick ain't Nick. A couple of more stats for you. Shall we?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Alabama's given up 450 yards or more 15 times under Nick Saban. Not all that bad, except 6 of those games have come since last December. Really? Okay. So the quarterbacks of the past 5 ranked opponents to face Alabama have combined for nearly 2,000 yards passing, 15 total touchdowns, and no interceptions while completing 63% of their passes. Yeah. Anybody who can throw it pretty to very well from the pocket, they are going to pick you to pieces.
Right.
And then that little Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
He was a workhorse.
God.
He was a workhorse.
Did he not shred them?
He did.
In every way, shape, and form, he scored 4 touchdowns.
Well, late in the ball game, Skip, what they tried to do instead of tackling, they tried to take the ball away. See, you can't, in a situation like that, you see the way he's built, he's kind of more Darren Sproles.
Yes, exactly.
That was a good
Exactly. It reminds me exactly of Darren Sproles.
Yep. And the thing is, you're trying to pull the ball away, and the next thing you know, not only does you didn't get the ball, he's standing in the end zone celebrating. But Skip, but look,
it's over. If you give up 46, you're disqualified.
Stop it.
You can't do it.
Okay.
You're out.
That was the 9th time in 10 seasons in which he's given up 35 or more. That's tied for the fewest in college football in its decade.
Okay. Yeah. If everybody's jumping off the cliff, should you also jump off the cliff?
That's what
you're telling me, right?
At some point in time, all those that you keep losing that pipeline. All these guys keep going, and he still has them there. But the thing is, the question's going to come down, Skip. They went out. They beat Auburn in the Auburn in the Iron Bowl in Auburn.
Yeah. Okay.
Auburn beat Oregon. Oregon has 1 loss. Oklahoma lost to K-State. So who has the more compelling one-loss team?
Are you giving Oklahoma any shot at this? You keep bringing up Oklahoma. I'm like, thank you.
But you're looking at the
they shouldn't even be in this conversation.
I believe it's going to LSU. If LSU hold serves, I believe LSU, no-brainer. Clemson, ain't nobody touching them in Ohio State.
Okay.
So now it's going to come down to one loss Oklahoma, one loss Oregon, one loss Alabama.
Yeah.
So who do you think would be more deserving?
It's going to be tougher for a Pac-12 one-loss team to get in because of strength of schedule, right? For Oregon, the one loss to Auburn at the time, they were the 4th-ranked team in the SEC at the time when they lost to them. And so that's going to make it tough for a one-loss team from the Pac-12 to get in over a Big Ten one-loss or a SEC one-loss team like we're talking about right now.
Because it might be Penn State. Penn State has one loss.
Yeah.
They lost to. So it's going to be very, very interesting. Because you really could have Oklahoma, who's a blue blood, with one loss, and they on the outside looking in because that loss to K-State was horrible.
Baker lost at home to Iowa State as a 31-point favorite and won the Heisman and got into the Final Four.
Yeah, but it was 2 loss. But see, they came back. They came back, but it was 2 loss teams. They ain't getting in over the 1 loss.
Huh.
Because that 1 loss happened to be Bama. Yeah, they have to be Bama.
What are you talking about?
How you gonna have the Invitational without the host team? The Alabama Invitational, the college football playoff.
You're living in the past.
No, I'm living right now.
This is the present.
You a hater.
Any team that gives up 46.
You a hater.
At least Oklahoma gave up 48 in Manhattan,
At least.
Really?
I don't know if it gets any better.
To K-State.
Yeah.
Really, Skip, to K-State.
I'm embarrassed. I'm ashamed.
This is why week in and week out, we talk about on our show about they got to expand the college football playoff system. You got to have more teams.
And you should have lost You should have lost Saturday.
It was close.
Oklahoma?
Yes. You kicked the PAT. Yeah. You don't go for 2.
Right.
The kid, you got him. You had figured them out. You got them dead to right. Take it to overtime.
Oh, now you're paying attention.
You don't do that.
So
We tackled the receiver in the end zone.
You
on the
did.
2-point throw, so we got away with it.
Because they got to keep it interesting because they know a 2-loss Big Ten
Big 12
Big 12 team ain't going nowhere.
All I
even
know,
if you win the conference.
Oklahoma has a better quarterback than Alabama.
Just stop playing.
All I know.
Jalen right now, 15-1 odds to win the Heisman.
You know I'm right about that.
Skip.
I'll take my quarterback, who used to be your quarterback, over your quarterback.
Skip.
Right?
We need a lot more time.
That man got 32 and 3. That man got like 30 touchdowns with 3 picks. You talking about he better?
We need a lot more time.
Really?
My guy can really run it.
And Judy dropped the 70-yarder.
After a 2-8 start to the season, New York Knicks president Steve Mills said he and GM Scott Perry were not happy with where the team is right now. There are also reports that the organization is preparing to fire head coach David Fizdale. And the one and only Michael Rapaport is now joining us. I don't know.
We need to all
back.
sit back, get out of the way.
I'm a little worried about
Yeah.
this. What is going on with the Knicks?
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me. Timing, it's just the timing. I was scheduled to be here weeks ago. I want to say this. Steve Mills, I'm done with you. Okay? I'm
done.
GM president, sort of.
I'm done with you, Steve Mills.
Yep.
I have so much to say about this guy. Steve Mills, your record as a president, as a GM, as the basketball mind of my New York Knicks, I'm done with this guy, Steve Mills. Yahoo, clown. His record, 165 wins, 337 losses.
Yikes.
Steve Mills, let me tell you something. Isn't there a leaky faucet that Dolan needs to be fixed? Or maybe it's time to walk the dogs or, I don't know, drive him somewhere. What is your skill set, Steve Mills? What does this guy do? Through all the coaches, the Lenny Wilkins, the Kurt Rambis was the coach of the New York Knicks during my tenure residency coming on this show. Derek Fisher, the Lenny Wilkins, the Herb Williams was the coach of the Knicks. Mike Woodson, the Phil Jackson debacle, the Mike D'Antoni. Steve Mills has been there. So we've changed coaches, we've changed GMs. Steve Mills is with GM. He's a basketball president. And we've had personnel players. We've had the Carmelo and all this. But Steve Mills remains there. Okay, we're 2-8. We should not get blown out by Sacramento. We should not get blown out on a Sunday, okay? I shouldn't have to turn the channel to the New York Knicks, okay, during Sunday Night Football, and like it's like a car accident. Like we're down 33 points on a Sunday. It's a Sunday. This is the day of rest. It's my wife's 50th birthday. Oh. I shouldn't have to like it's like a car accident. And through all that, you got Steve Mills. He's the consistency, him and Dolan. Dolan's not gonna sell this team. I want Steve Mills fired. He's a problem, okay? And when we're 2-8, Fizdale's a big boy. Fizdale, yeah. He's got moxie. He's tough. He's been through it all. He was tenured by the great Pat Riley. He was there with the Miami Heat guys. He don't need you two, Scott Perry and Steve Mills, sniffing around. And Steve Mills, he's got no bass in his voice. Why are you out there for a press conference? Did Daddy Dolan tell you to come out there? What are you doing out there? We're 2-8. Fizdale could take it on the chin. If you fire David Fizdale, if they fire him, and I'm not saying that they're not perfect. We've had the things with the Dennis Smith and all this. If you fire David Fizdale, I am ordering, I am begging, and this myth that the fans that show up to the Knicks game are not New York Knicks fans, maybe down there in the boxes in the below. Any section up, these are family people. These are hardworking New York people from the boroughs, from Jersey, from Bronx, from Staten Island. They pay their money to come see it. Go to see Hamilton on Broadway. Go to see Wicked, Netflix and chill. Stop going to the games. Atypical. Watch Atypical. Season 3 streaming right now. Do something. Yeah. We need to stop going to the games and supporting these guys. Once again, Forbes put the New York Knicks as the most, the lucrative franchise in all of sports. Enough is enough. If Dolan's not going to sell the team, we should, instead of talking about Fizdale, get rid of this clown, Steve Mills. I want to know this. Okay, I'm going to throw it back to you guys. If Steve Mills got fired by the New York Knicks, would he ever have another job in the NBA? No, because he has no basketball skill set.
I don't. And to follow that up, Skip, I just don't know what they think David Fizdale. Did they think Julius Randle? So you miss out on Kyrie. You miss out on.
No, think of what you're saying. The whole offseason, I thought you were going to get Durant and Kyrie.
And we were also getting Zion. That's what the memes said.
Right.
You went from that to this.
To Julius Randle.
I saw the memes. Didn't you see the memes? They all had on blue jerseys.
So Fizdale is not the problem in New York.
He is not the problem. And I still
He's
have
the best thing
high
you have
regard.
going on.
He is the best thing you have going.
Yep.
The players like him. They respect him.
Okay, now to your other favorite team, the Lakers. What have you seen so far?
They're a good team.
There you go.
They're a good team.
Turn around.
Okay, I'm going to tell you something, Shay. Don't get too close, because I got the 37-inch. Let me tell you something, Shay. Again, just like the Knicks being 2-8 and your Lakers are what? Are they 7-2? 7-2 and all that stuff. I blame, because I'm going to be honest, you guys are sports veterans, okay? I blame Lonzo Ball for all this, because traditionally, up until this season, we never, even the most staunch NBA fan, we never got excited about 7-2. Obviously, 2-8 is not fun, but to get all crazy about the records this early, the Phoenix Suns last year, come December, the Clippers were the best record in the West. Let me tell you something. Your team looks good. Your guy LeBron James, he looks fantastic. And I will say this. I am with you on the LeBron Kawhi thing in terms of the sitting out, the load management, and all that stuff. I respect the fact that LeBron is ground and pound. But I'm going to tell you something, Shay. Okay, I'm here, my man Drip. You guys aren't winning any championship. And earlier I heard you scream on this man and say he's never going to be LeBron James about Kawhi. He don't need to. Maybe that's not the answer to be 3-6. Maybe that's not the pinnacle to be LeBron James. Because Kawhi Leonard, he's got 2 championships. He's got 2 MVPs. They beat them once. They're going to beat him again. You guys ain't winning the championship.
He has won as the guy.
He wasn't the guy.
No, Tim Duncan then was, and Manu, and Tony Parker.
Well, he was the MVP.
He was the MVP. Well, when he
was a little baby. He wasn't even shaving.
How about this here? When he wins a regular season MVP, talk to your boy.
Who cares about? Who was the regular season MVP last year? Who was it? James Harden?
No, Giannis.
Okay, Giannis. And who was before? James Harden?
Yeah.
Okay, who cares? What did they got jewelry? They don't have jewelry.
LeBron ain't got no jewelry?
No, I'm saying, listen, I'm not going to sit here and say LeBron is not great, but you act like being like LeBron is not like being like Mike.
Kawhi ain't ever going to pass LeBron. Ever.
He can have more rings in him.
So, Robert Ory got more rings.
Yo, but he ain't the guy. Kawhi Leonard will end up with more rings than LeBron.
And he still ain't going to be the guy.
At the end of the season this year, okay, so when the Clippers knock down the Los Angeles Lakers, barring everybody stays healthy, what are you going to say? The Clippers are going to beat. Everybody stays healthy. They're going to beat the Lakers. You guys
we don't need no caveat. I don't need no caveat. Lakers are going to the finals. We winning the chip.
No, they ain't. Oh, my God.
Just like that.
Please, I'm asking right now, book me right now for that day. If I don't get booked, I'm just coming. I'm showing up. I'm showing up.
We'll let you
ain't got to show up because we're going to bring the show to your house.
Please do.
Bring it to your house.
Winning any, they're a good team. He looks great. LeBron looks great. He's got a chip on his shoulder. The Dwight Howard thing. I came on this show in the summer and I said that was a good thing.
I like it.
JaVale, I've always been a fan of JaVale. I don't think the Warriors should have ever let him go. Anthony Davis is doing Anthony Davis. LeBron, he had that weird thing with his hair. I don't want to go down that road.
Yeah, you did. You brought it up.
No, I don't want to go down that road. It was weird because the guys,
weird.
you rock that do-rag. You want to keep those waves.
Yeah.
Why is this man rocking a do-rag all the time? There's no waves, my man.
Keep his hair padded down.
Okay, but I'm just saying that, listen, Shannon, you guys are winning the championship.
You're a hater.
I just complimented the guy. I think right now.
How you gonna compliment the guy? You're a Lakers fan and talk about we're not gonna win this.
I'm not a Lakers fan. You're not winning a championship. Kawhi Leonard will wind up ending his career with more rings than LeBron James. I'll make a long-term bet on you on that. Like you say, he's never.
And we're gonna have more rings than the Knicks.
Okay, we talked about the Knicks. But I'm just saying, you say he's never going to be LeBron, but he'll be Kawhi.
He will never be thought of as a better player. He could have 15 rings. He'll never be thought of as a better player than LeBron James.
I agree with you on that.
Fact or fiction?
I agree with you on that, but maybe that being LeBron James isn't the best thing.
I said he will never be thought of. He will never be thought of as a better player than LeBron James.
I think that he will never be thought of as a dynamic individual player.
A better player.
But I think at the end of the year,
Shannon Sharpe.
Yes.
He'll have a better career.
Right now.
He'll have a better career because those rings and things.
The best player in Los Angeles right now is Kawhi.
No, he's not.
You know
Did
what
you see Kawhi last night?
You know what I love the most? Wait a second. Do you realize this man, Kawhi Leonard, had an option in the offseason coming into July? He could have just stacked that Laker deck. He could have said, you know what? I give up. I give in. I want to win 3 more chips with LeBron and AD at the other side, in the other locker room at Staples. Right. And you know what he said? No. I'm going to leave you guys high and dry. I'm going to bamboozle you right up to the deadline, and then I'm going to sign with the other team. And I'm going to take you on in your house.
In your crib.
And I'm going to dethrone you in your own
in the basement.
crib.
In the crib.
You Igor.
And I'm going to have
you in the basement.
It's in a drip.
I'm going to have the audacity on opening night to let my New Balance commercial drop, in which I got a little, remember the crown dangling from the keychain?
In the crib.
I'm the king of this.
In the crib.
And it says Kawhi Town.
Scared of Kawhi.
Yep.
Scared of
You like those New Balance?
I like New Balance. I'm New Balance king.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yep.
I'm New Balance king. Listen.
For years I ran in New Balance.
I rock basketball.
They're a great jogging shoe, like to walk around. I'll rock them with some, with some Lululemon, some athleisure. But I ain't wearing no hooping in them.
Oh, as far as dope sneakers, LeBron James is at the bottom of Nike sneakers being.
Actually, it's number 2 behind Jordan.
I don't care about the selling.
It's number 2 behind Jordan.
I don't care about the selling. Nobody's rocking LeBron James sneakers I like in the real world.
Yes,
them joints are.
So who buying them?
They look questionable.
So how they get to be number 2 if nobody buying them? How did they get to be number 2 behind Jordan? Bigger than Kyrie, bigger than Steph Curry, bigger than KD, bigger than James Harden, bigger than Dame Lillard.
Go to the top. Bigger than MJ?
I said it was number 2 behind Jordan.
Maybe a lot of people in China. I'm going to move forward.
Whatever.
I'm going to move forward. The thing is this, okay? Your guy, he's great. I'm surprised that he looks sprightly and all that stuff. At the end of the year, when you bring this show, Undisputed, the best in the business, by the way. The best in the business, by the way. To my crib. When your guys are either bumped out of the Western Conference Finals or maybe even early, you might not win a playoff. You might not win a playoff series.
Stop playing.
Okay.
I'm coming. Put my feet up on your coffee table just like this here. Yep.
I can't wait to see Shay.
I'd like to see this.
It's the most beautiful
Will you be
time
wearing
of the year.
socks or no socks?
No socks with my Laker jersey. With LeBron. As a matter of fact, I might get LeBron to come with me.
Yo, bring him. And I'm gonna tell you something. When he's on an early summer vacation, he's scratching his head. And you know he's gonna shave his hair again. By the way, I'm gonna say this. He looked good with the shaved head after the Warriors when they what was it 3-1, 4-1? He was confused. He should just rock that. You should tell him.
Don't worry about that man.
Okay, but
it's hard to let go of good things sometimes.
Shay, it's over.
It ain't over.
It is over. I don't care about
7-2.
You're gonna lose to Phoenix, and I'm gonna take that goat mask and I'm gonna burn it in front of you.
He'll probably come back.
Why you hate the goat man?
I like the goat man.
Go, Jay.
Okay.
No mercy.
Since starting the season 3-0, the Cowboys have lost 4 of their last 6 games and are currently tied with the Eagles atop the NFC East. Following the home loss to the Vikings, Jerry Jones said, quote, "We'll have to pay for this one. Hopefully it won't be terminal." Jerry also said that he knows Philadelphia is coming. Michael Rapaport is still with us. So, Michael, here is the question of the day. Who wins the NFC East?
Well, for me, these two teams, in my heart, soul, gut, my DNA. I see you looking at the custom shirt. I see you checking.
I noticed it earlier.
Lesser of two evils for me.
Yeah.
I'm a Giants fan. Historically, I don't love the Philadelphia Eagles. Love the great fighting city of Philadelphia. Dallas, have no disrespect against the city of Dallas, but I'm a New York Giants fan. We have bigger fish to fry. I'm surprised that the Cowboys have taken this nosedive. I'm not surprised the Eagles still think they won a Super Bowl. They've been celebrating for the longest team.
2 years now.
Yeah, 2 years. They still think everything's going on. Unfortunately, I feel like Carson Wentz hasn't gotten back to form since those injuries. I'm surprised that Zeke has taken a little step back. I'm also surprised that you've thrown him under the bus. The man, come on. He had a bad game, okay? Their offense.
Had games, plural.
Okay.
I can't recognize that guy who was a rookie, who ran over the Giants. Remember that guy?
Yeah. But it was all great when he was like in Tahiti down there, and then he came back. But I will say that I think that even though the Cowboys have a tougher schedule, they got the Lions, Patriots, Bills, Rams, Bears, and Eagles. And the Eagles have the Patriots, Seahawks. They play my New York Football Giants twice. And
Wins.
the Miami Dolphins. Those are 3 wins right there.
Yep.
I think at the end of the day, because of Dak, and I believe in Zeke, and I am a fan of Zeke, I think that the Philadelphia Eagles still miss Nick Foles. They feel like he's going to come in. I think that the Dallas Cowboys will win the NFC East. And I don't think it's anything to be proud of, the way they're going to be doing it. They're not a championship team, nor the Philadelphia Eagles. But I feel like your team will pull it out. And if you could call that a victory, Skip, hopefully.
We will take it. And I do appreciate that endorsement, Mr. Sharpe.
Well, kind of like the Giants still thinking Eli going to revert back to form and they're going to win a Super Bowl.
You know what? I want them to reinstall Eli as the starter for the game Eagles at Giants.
I
I want
would love
Eli
that.
to come
I
back.
would love that. I would love that.
Don't.
Huh?
Come on. Stay on your team, man.
Well, I've seen enough of Danny Dimes for a while.
I'm not worried about Danny Dimes.
No.
I'm not worried about Danny. Stick with your team, man. We'll clean our own house.
Skip, I don't know how many. You know where I stand on this.
Yeah.
I sat in this very seat at the beginning of the year.
You did.
And I said, Skip, you're not going to make the playoffs.
Yep.
You mean to tell me a Dak and a Zeke and a No, you're not making the playoffs.
Okay.
And you're not.
And
this
is
not
it over?
This Skip.
Should I just
no Skip,
concede?
It's not going to end well. I'm trying to prepare you.
Okay.
Like Jerry said. Jerry said he hopes it's not terminal. When you send someone to hospice, you know it's just a matter of time. They start preparing you for that moment.
Really?
I've been preparing you for 4 months for what was going to happen.
Why? Why do you explain?
Because I don't trust their coaching staff and I don't trust that quarterback.
And that quarterback has won this division 2 of the last 3 years.
By default.
With that same
Default last year.
Yeah.
Because Walker to him got hurt.
Oh, really?
Walking to him got hurt.
He
you
did
know that.
not get hurt. He played.
First of all, Skip,
he played.
He came back prematurely off the ACL last year. You know that. I know that.
Excuses on top of
Ain't no
excuses.
excuses. Ain't no excuses. But at the end of the day, I will have the last laugh. Your team will be at the bottom for the foreseeable future. And I hope you enjoy not making the playoffs.
So Las Vegas says you're wrong because Las Vegas is saying right now my team's a 4.5-point favorite at Detroit. It'll be
Minus Matthew Stafford.
Okay.
We had to play with
He'll
Stafford.
probably play. He
Man, he
might
ain't
play.
playing.
Oh, he better not.
I think he might play.
If they say you have broken bones in your back, you should
I know,
just
but
not be allowed to
it's
play.
Those little transverse process bones. They all do it.
Skip
They all
Tony.
play.
Tony Romo missed
Right.
8 weeks, and Dak Prescott, that's how Dak Prescott got the job.
Yeah, but I remember Bryce Petty at Baylor. He just played through it. He played the next day.
Where he at now?
Yeah. Well, okay. But
See?
again, I've seen people play with this, and he loves to play against his hometown Cow. He grew up in Highland Park in
Right.
Dallas. So, again, 4.5-point favorite at Detroit, while the Eagles are a 3.5-point underdog at home.
We got it.
To New England coming off a bye. You got it?
Yep.
I got 3 cases right here that says you don't
Hold on.
got it.
If I'm not mistaken, Skip, how big a favorite were you at Baltimore? Wasn't the Patriots favorite at Baltimore?
I thought we were talking about at Eagles.
Oh, just because,
Because
you're favorite, you don't get those points, right?
You just sacrilegiously put the Eagles in the same conversation with Lamar Jackson's teams.
Yep.
Do the Eagles have Lamar Jackson at
No,
quarterback?
he don't play quarterback for the Eagles, does he?
I don't think so.
Whoa.
Another bird.
If you'd have had if the Tom Brady from 5 years ago,
Yep.
I said, okay, you got me.
Boy, he
But
looks 42 going on 24.
He
Yeah,
does.
what are you worried? Yeah, he looks great.
Oh,
And I'm saying I can't stand him.
Yep.
The way you were, like, is that a
What you mean he look
conversation?
great?
Is Tom Brady, is he done? Is he finished?
he look great. Have you been watching this game?
Listen, what's the record, my friend, mi amigo?
Hold on.
I think
What-
it's 8 and 1.
Have you seen the defense?
Yo,
What about his offense? How's his offense look?
listen, man, they're winning games, and you're gonna make me
They're winning.
defend.
Are they winning game because of him?
Are they winning game? Are they losing? Is he bad? They're still doing the
Think
thing.
about what you just said. You're asking, are they losing games because of him? This is a 6-time Super Bowl champ, and he's along for the ride currently. You know that. He knows that.
I do not know that. I think he's going to walk on the field in Philly and say, you 3 guys from South Jersey, come down here. You're going to be my receivers.
Y'all
today,
catching the
and
L.
I'll beat this team.
Y'all catching the L
Yeah.
on Sunday.
How much you want to put on it?
Come Friday, I'll let you know.
Come Friday.
Come Friday.
So you can sleep on it and
some
sleep
time to
off
prepare.
your euphoria that you're feeling
Oh, no.
now because you're getting.
Didn't I tell you what the good Vikings were going to do to your team?
Well,
I said, I'm not going to give you any
they
message.
tore my team
Read
apart.
about that one.
If my quarterback had been able to throw it on 2nd, 3rd, and 4th down, we win that game, 31-28.
Well, that's a big if,
Book
Skip.
it.
That's a
no,
big
it's
if.
a little if.
No.
Because he just completed 6 straight passes to go from his 6 down to the 11-yard line. He was on fire.
No, he
had
wasn't.
thrown for almost 400 yards. And at the point of no return, let's give it to 21
Well, how about this here,
Really?
Skip? How about this? How about get on fire in the first quarter? How about do that?
I thought he was.
Your last 6 games.
He drove him into Minnesota territory all 3 times in the first quarter.
I guess, hold on. You played the Saints, you had 3 points at the half. You played the Jets.
Yep.
That's unforgivable.
Ancient-
No team winning the Super Bowl.
Ancient
loses.
history.
I don't know what happened with that.
Ancient history
That was
because right now, 9 games in, we are 5-4, and guess what? We're still in first place.
One of those 4s to the New York Jets, and that's crazy.
The Jets.
Okay?
Sorry,
But you got-
I can't live
but
that
see,
one
they
down.
got-
Wait a second. My
That
team
should've been
was
2 losses.
My team was 3-5 last year and got just
See?
annihilated
You see, you think of
and
last year.
humiliated on Monday Night Football by Marcus Mariota.
Yep.
You know what? I'll take losing to Sam Darnold over Marcus Mariota, who has now lost the job.
No.
Sam Darnold at least hasn't lost the job yet.
Because they ain't got nobody. They killed everybody else. They threw Luke. They let Luke Falk go.
They let it walk.
They let Luke
Yeah.
Falk go.
By the way, the Eagles got to beat Luke Falk at home, and then the Eagles lost to the Lions at home, and then the Eagles lost at Atlanta.
Hold up, and then the Eagles went on the road and beat Green Bay, who beat the brakes off Dallas.
Okay, and yet Green Bay then went to the Chargers and lost 26-11.
Yeah.
And got annihilated and humiliated.
Y'all lost to the Saints with a backup.
Okay, you know what you're making my case for? That the NFC is still up for grabs.
Up for
Show
grabs.
me anybody.
It is.
Show me dominant. Show me
it's
invincible.
up for grabs if you're Seattle, if you're Green Bay, if you're San Fran.
I got it.
Yeah, not if you're New Orleans.
Dallas.
Not if you're Dallas. It's not up for grabs for you.
Dallas has got a quarterback. That's all we need.
No,
is
you
a
don't.
quarterback.
18 touchdowns and 9 picks.
Leading the whole league.
18
in
and 9.
QBR. Leading the whole league.
The
in
whole
QBR.
entire league, he's not a quarterback. He's leading the league in QBR.
And let that sink in for a second. They 5-4.
Huh.
One of those losses to the Jets.
Russell Wilson
right?
is third. He's 8-2. Lamar Jackson's 8-2. He's fourth. The guy that leads it is 5-4.
Okay.
With an all-pro offensive line, with an all-pro running back, with a quarterback that's a top 5. That's what you tell everybody. You've been telling everybody.
He's top 5. He is.
Top 5 what?
Running back overrated. Offensive line overrated. Defense way overrated. If my quarterback could play safety, I'd have a shot.
You don't like Dak?
I like him. But not like he think he like that. He think he Peyton Manning, Tom Brady-esque.
Oh, no, he's not that.
And he's not.
He is Brady-esque. He's not Peyton-esque.
Brady-esque around here plenty.
Brady-esque. Esque.
On the Bobby Brady, on the Brady bunch. That Brady, not Tom.
Only thing they got Brady-esque, both got nice cheekbones. Other than that, I don't see any similarities.
None.
I see a lot of similarities.
I just don't.
Give him that.
I don't like you guys put me in a position to have to defend have to support the Patriots, like some reverse psychology.
Of all, we ask you to talk about the East because there ain't nothing for you to talk about. The Giants are bad for the very foreseeable future.
Sorry. It's tough to come on and talk about
I'm a guest on the show.
I need Danny Dimes to rise and shine twice down the stretch.
2 times.
Against the green.
Hey.
Now he back Danny Dimes again, huh?
Yep.
You know,
I love
maybe
Danny
we could have you back.
You changed from
I love Danny
Dimes.
Now he's back.
Dropping those dimes on
2
those
minutes
Eagles.
ago, you said
Cry, Eagles,
you
cry.
wanted to bring back Eli from.
Yeah.
No,
That
we've
could work.
moved on from that, right? Michael, always good to have you.
Good to
We
see
really
you guys.
appreciate it.
Thank
It's
you.
been too long. Michael is going to be at the Helium Comedy Club in Portland this weekend.
Wow.
Tickets available at michaelrapaportcomedy.com. I've seen you. You got to check him out. This guy's really good.
No mercy.
Jared Goff signed a $134 million extension in the offseason that included a record $110 million in guaranteed money. In an article by Jarrett Bell of USA Today, the question was asked whether Goff's extension has been a bust. The QB had no touchdowns and 2 interceptions in their loss to the Steelers on Sunday. On the season, Goff has only 11 touchdowns to 9 interceptions, and the defending NFC champ Rams currently sit at 3rd in their own division at 5-4. So, Shannon, does Goff deserve most of the blame?
He does, Skip. He's regressed. And I think it started the last month of the season last year when Todd Gurley came up with this injury. They were 3rd in rushing last year. They're 20th this year. And he works best when he has a running game. And when he does not have a running game, and there are some quarterbacks, Skip, if they don't have a running game, they can throw you to victory. He's not there yet. And I don't know if he's going to get there because he looks like a totally different player now that they can't run the football with conviction like they once could. And that offensive line, now I don't know what happened, Skip, but you talk about looking like they got old overnight. His offensive line looked bad. They can't protect him. They don't open holes for Gurley. And a part of this, a reporter asked Gurley, are you surprised you didn't play much in the 4th quarter? He's like, no, I'm used to it now. And therein lies the problem. Now, something is going on, and I said, look, something's not right, Skip. You don't have a guy. And Todd Gurley last year, if I'm not mistaken, Skip, I think he was voted in the players poll NFL Network had. I think he was the 5th or the 6th rated player in all the NFL.
Wow.
Now, you go from what he did in the regular season. Now, he missed the last 3 weeks. They brought C.J. Anderson in. Okay, he had that monster game against the Cowboys in the opening round. And then
CJ had even a bigger.
Right. And then you play against New Orleans in the championship game and you get 5-6 carries. And then you play in the Super Bowl with all the marbles on the table, all the money chips pushed to the middle, and you get 5 or 6 more carries. So we knew something was wrong. Something is going on, Skip, because he's not the workhorse back. Why wouldn't he be when he's the 2nd highest paid running back in football? But to take it back to Jared Goff, Skip, he's regressed. He deserves the lion's share of the blame. And what has happened also is that what happened in college, Skip, when the coordinator tell you, okay, throw it here, the guy's normally going to be open. If you remember, Skip, Todd McVay is in his ear. Okay, such and such is going to be open. What happens when that player is not open? And he has to go, one's not there, and he has to go 2 to 3. He's struggling to transition from getting off 1 to going to 2 and 3. And because they can't run the football, all that laundry is in his lap and is piling up faster than he can wash it.
True. So what have I told you from the start? That Jerry Jones is being forced to overpay because the Rams overpaid Todd Gurley first.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Just because he's hurt. I'm not saying he's not worthy of the money and talent.
Right.
But then they way overpaid Jared Goff to me. And they're going to have to live with that, while Jerry's going to maybe have to overpay Dak Prescott on market value. But I've also told you from the start, Dak Prescott is better than Jared Goff.
Okay.
And again, we got a fourth rounder versus the first overall pick.
Right.
But the fourth rounder has proven at every turn to be a little to a lot better than Jared Goff. And I'm not ready to dismiss Jared Goff as a bust. He's just a little better than average to me. And I do think last year he was, in large part, a product of the wizard, the boy genius that was Sean McVay. And all of a sudden, that has been exposed because the offensive line has turned into a shambles.
Right.
And it happened overnight.
It turned into a turnstile when it turned into.
And it did. And now they've shipped guys out and they've replaced, and all of a sudden, they can't protect. They can't run it. They can't do much of anything. And they got held to 12 points at Pittsburgh.
Right.
12
averaging
points?
20. They were averaging 27.
Wow.
Now, Pittsburgh has gotten better defensively. I think the addition of Minkah Fitzpatrick, Skip, he's tossed his hat into the Defensive Player of the Year discussion.
Well, I also told you before the year, I love this Pittsburgh defense.
Yeah.
If Roethlisberger could have been healthy,
Right.
I'm still not sold on Mason Rudolph.
No.
I like you are. I don't see it, but whatever.
He's doing a great job of whatever they're asking him to do.
Yeah.
They've been able to run the ball just enough to keep teams honest.
Well, we're going to see him at Cleveland on Thursday night.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Short week.
Okay.
Like
we'll
that.
see what
Yeah.
happens.
Dynamic.
But Skip, I mean, you have to ask yourself, 110 million guaranteed, $134 million total contract. That's a lot of money.
Okay.
And when you play a guy that kind of money, if the running game's not there, you expect him to be able to throw you to the destination you need to get.
Okay.
And the questions they're going to have to ask themselves moving forward, if Todd Gurley can't ever be the guy that he once was, do you believe Jared Goff can take you where you need to be?
All right. Now to the Rams defense, or lack thereof. They gave up 55 points at home to Tampa Bay. 55 points. They got dominated by the 49ers here at the Coliseum in L.A. They have given up the 15th most points in all of pro football, and yet they have what you say is by far not only the best player on defense, the best player in all of football on that defense is obviously Aaron Donald, and yet they're 15th in points allowed. I can't pput those two together.
They don't go together.
Okay.
And that's disappointing because you look at the first rounders they got on the defensive line. Clay Matthews, yes, Skip, he's a little long in the tooth, but he still can rush the pass a little bit. He was a first rounder. Aaron Donald was a first rounder. Broncos was a first rounder. Fowler was a first rounder. They're loaded with first rounders up there.
And they got Jalen Ramsey.
Yes, first
Now
rounder.
what? Okay.
And
Be the big move.
it's not something is not computing.
Nope. What is not computing? I love Wade Phillips. You played for Wade Phillips.
I played for 2 years. He was my defensive coordinator my first 3 years in the league.
Something is not clicking. Is it just the Super Bowl loser syndrome where you come back the next year and you just can't get right? You just can't get it back?
But my thing is, Skip, it seems like you would be even hungrier. Getting so close, almost getting the drink from the cup. And you're right there. And like, man, I'm doing everything I possibly can, but I can't, with the exception of well, Buffalo done it, New England's done it. But seems like when you lose that game, it's like everything is lost.
All of a sudden, they have gone from dominant to getting dominated.
Yeah. And everybody wanted that guy, Sean McVay tree.
I know.
Matt LaFleur and all these guys were getting jobs. They're like,
It's not looking so hot anymore.
No.
You know what? I'll take the
Experience.
Cowboys 5-4 over the Rams.
I was going to
5-4.
bring up that same record,
Yeah.
3-0 start,
Thank you.
lost for the past 6.
Yep.
It's similar.
yeah.
Yet,
And they're not careful, but well, I know one for sure. I feel very comfortable saying one for sure will not make the playoffs.
No mercy.
after Dak Prescott's warm-up on Sunday night went viral, 49ers defensive end Nick Bosa did his own version of the Dak warm-up last night before his primetime game against the Seahawks. I mean, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing.
Nope, you shouldn't.
Skip,
Nope.
what did you think? Funny or not funny?
Not funny. Who does Nick Bosa think he is as a rookie in this league? What exactly has Nick Bosa accomplished in pro football that gives him the right to make fun of Dak Prescott? You know who he learned that drill from, that pregame drill?
Yes.
From the great Tom House, my friend Tom House, who coaches Tom Brady and Drew Brees, among many others. So So Nick Bosa is now making fun of Tom Brady's throwing coach because that's exactly what he teaches Brady to do. Get your hips into the throw. You throw it with your hips.
Right.
So I'm sorry. That pretty much made me sick at my stomach when I saw
I like it. He's can't have a front pregame. He got to get his hips loose too.
Yeah. Make fun of people.
Skip. He's a football player,
Yeah.
and you play the game with your hips. So he want to get his hips loose too.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, you want to.
Well, he got his hips into the game last night because he had one quarterback hit and no sack.
Whoa,
Way to go, Nick. You dominated.
Hold on, Skip.
Way to go.
Okay, your guy did all that, loosen his hips up. Did he win? Did he throw enough
threw for
touchdowns?
almost 400 yards.
Did he win?
The coaches took him out of winning.
Okay, well, he almost won. Nick Bosa's team almost won.
Yeah.
Stop, Skip, let people have fun.
What is this coming to? Where did this come from?
He losing his hips.
Yeah. So he planted the flag on Baker. At least you're trying to get even because Baker got even with you for celebrating at Norman.
He's trying to get his hips loose, Skip. That's what guys do. Haven't you seen guys do that, like the hurdle and the fire hydrant? And they're doing that so he get his hips loose. I might do that. I might start doing that. Get my hips loose. Yeah, sit down all day.
I tried to do it. It didn't work so well. I thought it was impressive.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports. One of one.